welcome to another episode of SDS. We are back. It is another week, Premier League Roundup. We are back, but yes, it's always, if now it feels like a new faces here every time I'm hosting, but I'm here. We are trialing out a new format. I've said this a few times this season, but this one is one that we've spoken about off camera.
All very happy with it as well.
All very happy with it. So this is probably how we're going to go ahead for next season's Roundup show. We want to bring back other videos as well with like the games that we do, the top 10s, the drafts, the guest the players, etc. So we will be releasing one of those later this week as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. With the roundups today, we obviously will be talking about the Premier League, but we will no longer be speaking about every single game individually. Rather, we will be talking about 6, 7, maybe 8 different topics of things that have been going on, things we can discuss. If you follow our Twitter, there's a screenshot right now of the tweet that we put up a few hours before the episode comes up, sometimes the day before the episode comes out, of the topics we'll be talking about. That helps you guys know what we're going to talk about. And also, you guys can give us advice on things we can talk about.
They can even add something that we missed.
They can tweet us, say, hey, this would be a really good talking point, you know? Yeah. So now we're going to do talking points, a show where we do talking points rather than breaking out every single game. I feel like that's going to make these videos a lot better.
Let's be real as well. With this, everyone's already watched the games.
Yeah.
We're just literally re-talking everything that happened in the game.
Exactly.
And it was becoming a lot more draining for us as well. But I thought this is more fresh, so we're trying this out now, and this is probably how we're going to go forward next season. But the first thing we're going to talk about is Glasner already more impressive than Ten Hag?
I was going to say no intros now.
They've been rusty, man.
I'm so happy.
Yo,
this is
rusty. Bring back a seat, man. Bring back a seat.
Intros, I'm going to do it. Hey, see, some back in.
It's been a while, guys. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, next to me I have Star Player. How you doing?
What's happening, man? I'm happy with the last performance I did.
Yes.
Hope to carry on.
Yes,
Come
exactly.
on, what did FootMob give you? Or
I got like 8 points.
Good, you did.
9, 8
Nice.
Stars is a legend of the podcast, so it's good to have you back in form, and long may it continue. Opposite you, Fuad, welcome, real man, dog.
No soldier.
You know the brand.
All of it.
Red,
You know the
red
brand.
card
Love it.
merchant.
We bring that to the one as
If you
well.
guys follow SDSFC Pro Clubs, you know Fuad has had 4 red cards in 2 game weeks in the Champions of the Top
He
tournament.
genuinely brings his personality on Pro Club.
I've
never thought about it, but he does.
He's him.
Listen.
The same person on Pro Club. It's a video game, but that's his personality in real life as well.
Before we start, there's one moment during Pro Club's game where a guy took him out. He flew. Remember? He started screaming. He was like, I'm getting back! Yeah. I'm getting back!
You know what? We'll put a clip in here now.
Man, press.
There we go.
That's a tackle.
In their face.
Ah,
Keep it.
okay.
We got that though.
I'm munching back.
We got that.
No. Keep your head. I had to literally calm him down. I said, "You're chill."
He actually said to me, like, no, you don't do nothing, bro. Relax.
Yeah. And then Abs is here as well with the Barcelona jacket.
Come on, man.
Good to see you, man.
Come on, man. You sound very. There's a happiness in your voice that I think you only ever get when Arsenal win or if United lose. Which one is you're gonna
And
get?
I got both.
You got both.
I got both this week. It's great. So yeah, like I said, new format, bunch of different topics. The first topic is going to be revolved around United and Crystal Palace because that is the game that just happened before time of recording at Monday evening kickoff. But the headline for our topic is Glasner already more impressive than Ten Hag? Obviously, Glasner's come in. He looks like he's revitalised his Crystal Palace team. New manager bounce on steroids, it looks like. Mateta, specifically for pinpointing the player, which has literally like symbolised what a new manager bounce looks like for a player. Mateta's that player. Obviously, the game finished 4-0 to Crystal Palace. Selhurst Park, tough stadium to play at. A&P will find out on June 2nd how tough that stadium is to play out. But will the scoreline be the same? A&P versus Betis.
That is a cold plug right there. You see that right there?
Good transition, that.
June 2nd, we stream live on Betis YouTube channel. Feel free to watch us at Selhurst Park. But to more pressing matters, 4-0 the scoreline was. It's a bad one. Glasner managed a 4-0 win. Elise had a double, Mateta scoring, and also Tyrick Mitchell. The first thing I want to talk about, before we speak about United and everything, let's talk about Elise and even Eze as well on the side as well. Elise has been very impressive this season. He's been in and out this season. He's not played that many matches. He's played 17 matches.
Yeah.
17 matches. But he's got...
Look at the contributions.
Look at the contributions. He's double digits in GA. You know, he's played 17 games out of 36, whatever they've played. He's had a very impressive season. will he be a Crystal Palace player next season?
No. Inshallah, I say.
No. I think he should be, but because he's that good, as Fuad said, someone's gonna buy him. Like it's about time. Last year should have been the year he should have left. After the double-digit assists.
Now I worry that he'll be the one forced to stay, because I think Elise will be the big one that I think big clubs will be swimming after. But I think Eze, almost because
they... Eze now.
I'm talking about Eze.
We're talking about Elise.
We're talking about both. So you're saying...
I'm saying Elise
will leave, Eze
will be forced to stay. Yeah, because I think one, Eze, the injuries, they've kind of helped him kind of stay fit, if you like, when they've needed him. But then also, I just feel like Elise is the big money grab, if that makes sense. I feel like last summer he was supposed to leave. This summer I feel like this summer I just feel like the form he's been in when he has been fit, it's just been like, this guy does not belong here. I think Eze maybe one more season he'll give them. But
will teams be fighting for Elise's signature?
Absolutely.
Because the thing is, this was the same discussion last season, and he ended up signing an extension.
Yeah, he was actually quite strongly linked at that point to Chelsea, I think.
Yeah.
A bit more.
He had a release clause for like 35 million.
And I think terms were agreed with Chelsea at the time.
Yeah.
So it was, and then he ended up signing
I think the
contract.
new deal has a release clause as well, if I'm not mistaken. 65 or something, which is why I think the big clubs will try and trigger that.
I genuinely feel sorry for him, because I think with him, it depends on the move. But like, I can see Man United signing him. And I don't think Man United's the right move for him. The way he plays. So it is the next move is huge for him. Like, I think it's not make or break, because I think he's that good, but it might hinder his career.
Yeah, I remember last season when he was linked with even City was the other team.
Yeah.
That was the one.
Perfect
Mahrez replacement. Go there into a winning team. Some people say, Pep might take that freedom out of his game, but I think Pep will take him to another level. But I think it's very important. His next move, and Chelsea. Could he do that maybe? But then Palmer's there. That's got that right wing there.
Palmer
I'm thinking
can move
Palmer
move into the 10 quite naturally.
They're playing money on the right.
And he's a former Chelsea boy. Academy.
Yeah,
days.
the thing I really like about him is last season he was a bit more of a wide winger. He's showing us the strength in his running in transition. He wasn't just playing against low blocks and showing us that he can beat tricky defenders with tricky feet.
Yeah.
He's shown us how powerful he was in running in transition. This since Glasner's come in, it's a bit different now. First, he was outside of the fullback, taking him on now. Now they have the wing-backs that are playing that role there. He's just been inside. Him and Eze just allowed to just wreak havoc on all Premier League teams. And he did a good job of it today against
That's
Man
the
United.
thing you have to give Glasner massive credit for. Is the way he's got the best out of them two in particular. I feel like Roy Hodgson before, it was always about resiliency, come and be difficult to break down, and then hopefully they can turn up with a bit of magic. This one, it's like, no, this is the fulcrum of our team. We're going to give you two the freedom of the reins. Mateta's going to be up top. Just buzz off him, essentially.
Exactly.
The rest of you're here to do the grind work for that lot. And it's working.
And I feel like more than just... I know even myself, I thought, to be fair, was it just taking the chains off after Hodgson? Because Hodgson, as we know, for many years has been keep Palace in the Premier League, nice discipline system. More than just releasing the chains off them, it's finding a system that actually brings the best out of the best players. And that's why I think we have to give Glasner a bit more credit than just saying he's only just picked up where Hodgson has left them in tatters. Yeah. He's found a really good system that just accentuates the best qualities of their best players. You do that and you're a good manager. Managers that do that and come into a club and they say, here's what I have to work with, how can I get the best out of it? I think he's done a brilliant job in that sense.
With Hodgson as well, I feel like it's piggybacking off what you guys said. I think it's a combination of both. I think with Hodgson, it was just purely talent-based. Let my talent just play free and then see where it goes.
Yeah, obviously, it seemed that way for
Eze and Elise. Because remember, they had that manager bounce when Hodgson came in, when Vieira left.
Last year,
But it was much more chaotic in the sense of like they were leaking goals, but then they were scoring on the same on the other side. Whereas, like I said, this season, I think Glasner's implemented that Hodgson freedom of his star players, but has a system around, as you said, where them two now can do whatever they want in the middle of the pitch.
And
the additions of Wharton,
that's what I was going to say.
That's a huge addition as well.
For sure. And that's what I was going to say. That's another
bringing in Klein.
Even the Corey's been out injured for
he hasn't had Guehi Spa today. He hasn't had Guehi and had the Corey this whole since
big players. Big players.
It's the spine.
Yeah,
those are two of their biggest players last year.
100%.
And obviously the Daniel Munoz guy, Colombia,
quality,
got two assists today. But Adam Wharton you picked out actually. Adam Wharton's a player I wanted to talk about. 20-year-old midfielder, signing from Blackburn, I believe.
Man.
Just how good is he? because there's a lot of hype around him. Everyone's tweeting about him. You put a tweet out. I put a tweet out as well today. Everyone's talking about him. He looks the part.
Yeah.
Especially at the age he is, the way he's playing.
I wouldn't be surprised if a team in the summer
No,
has a
absolutely.
cheeky inquiry, just asking, what is the situation?
Maybe a step further, because we don't see English talents like this often. We don't see where they have this, but it was a walk in the park for him today. Yeah. And when you see a player like that of that age just look so comfortable, and we said it about previous players, we said it about the Pedris of the world, we said it about Kobe himself who played today. It's like, it's just, no, but we said it about him in the past. But we've seen it about them where it's like, you're this age, and it looks like you've seen it before. It looks like you've played this before. Like, it's just a stroll in the park, and that's what it was for Adam Morton today. And again, I know we're going to talk about United in a bit, but how easy it is for midfielders to play. It was just even easier.
I don't understand it though.
I think the thing is, it's a profile that England have been looking for so many years.
Absolutely.
And now it's like you've got a few of them kind of come through.
Like London
it's a shame Gareth Southgate's behind the helm, isn't it?
Again, it's another testament to, I think you have to give credit to the Championship, where it's a place where there are sleepers.
Bro,
there are
all three players we just spoke about. Olise, Eze, Wharton.
You can add Guehi, because Guehi was at Swansea that year before he went to
Man. They all were Championship players.
So it all goes to show you, listen, there's talent.
Pool of talent now.
Right there, even this season.
Jared Bowen.
Bro, Leif Davis.
You can keep going.
Leif Davis, how many assists has he got from left back? Yeah.
Who's the brother for Leeds?
Crescencio Somerville.
Somerville's doing crazy.
Playing in the Championship this season right now. There's top players.
Yes.
But I'm talking about Premier League.
Who have come to the Premier League.
Like
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, Jared Bowen, who have done a lot of things and came for signing.
He's just another testament to that in terms of shopping from that. And what was it, January? They signed him? 20 million?
That's a lot of money.
That's what I don't understand with this guy, because he's so special. I thought, you know how it is. Championship, obviously, it's physical, it's fast.
Yeah.
It's different. But coming into this league, I thought there's going to be more technical players in the Premier League. But he's always, regardless of what it was, as he was for Blackburn and he's for Palace, he plays at his own pace. He doesn't let the ball, he doesn't rush anything. He doesn't every time he makes the pass, it's always the right one, whether it's the weight of the pass, which foot to play it to.
Yeah.
The whole lot. I'm looking at going, wow.
I just hope now the typical thing doesn't happen where, of course, everybody's doing the Twitter rounds.
Yeah, of course.
Media start doing the paper rounds soon.
Yeah.
Sky Sports start doing their, hold on, can he sneak into the England squad?
Yeah, too soon.
Let him cook.
Of course.
Yeah, please.
Listen, he's at Palace. He's had a wonderful 6 months this season. Let's see if he can carry it on next year. That's why even like when you lot are saying like linking into big clubs.
No. I think stay at Palace.
Stay
right
spend
a good few years there.
Yeah.
Become the Declan Rice.
He's only 20.
When he gets to like 24, the perfect age, you got plenty of time.
You understand the vision.
You know, he's only 20. Stay there Crystal Palace have a good thing going on right now. You know, if they're probably going to lose Olise, but keep Eze, like you said, keep Wharton. You know, what Glasner's done now, you said he came in, he hasn't had a transfer window yet. So with what he's got, he's playing Klein, he's Chris Richards.
Back three.
I'm guessing, like, apart from Anderson, obviously Gue's coming in, he's probably going to change Chris Richards. Playing like that. Klein's not going to be playing that much. Yeah. You know, so he's going to build his team around the likes of Wharton, around the likes of Eze. He might sign another striker because Matete is probably in this purple
even
patch.
Decore comes
Decore comes back in. So Palace could become a top 8 team.
They can.
Every season you see another team go into top 8. We saw Sheffield United go into top 6 one time, top 7. So stay there, Wharton. Become the Declan Rice. Try and fight for a European spot, Conference League spot, all these temes. And then in a few years, learn the trade, become a Crystal Palace mini legend.
You've got time.
And then you'll get a big contract somewhere else.
But he's that kind of
top player.
He's
man,
a
definitely.
niche. But as I've said, he's a niche player. So those kind of players where you can let Declan Rice grow into the role he is now.
Yeah.
With him, he's that kind of talent where we don't see that in the Prem.
Yeah, we don't see
So
that.
I think like a year, I think 2 years.
Yeah,
I think he'll do 2 years.
Yeah.
Before people go, you know what, let's just grab it now.
As he should. Big up to Crystal Palace. Unbelievable result for them. Absolutely humiliating Man United.
It could have been 6 or 7.
It could have been a lot more. But let's talk about Man United now. You had no centre backs. You have obviously Johnny Evans being your only fit centre back, but he wasn't even signed to be. Even
he wanted to play golf.
He just came back from injury.
Bro, imagine at 37 being told, you got to mark Eze, Olise, and Mateta today.
Bro, it's not long. Obviously there are the injury problems. There's injury crisis is a thing. Okay, I
don't blame it that much, man.
Is it
today especially?
Is it injury crisis or are you just a bad team?
No, both. But both things can be true. We are just a bad team because we've seen it with our first team. We've seen it when the players are fit. We've seen the issues that we have in the system. This injury crisis, as you say, it can't be just ignored, but it also can't be relied upon as a point. That doesn't mean it's an explanation for the way the Manchester United play. This was a pathetic performance, not the only one that we've seen this season, where it's, do you deserve to wear the badge? Like, I don't care if you're not supposed to be the first team player. I don't care if you're not supposed to be even the second choice player. You are professional footballers who have
a lot of money as well.
Who've seen a lot of football.
And you've been deemed good enough to represent this club. So it should be good enough when you
Big
get a chance on the
Manchester
pitch.
United.
Players, I want to specify Casemiro here because I've spoken about Casemiro all season when he's playing defensive midfield. You played centre half at Wembley against Coventry, and people are like, "Oh, okay, hello."
New art.
He might have.
And I said this. I remember saying this fourth actually. Bro, I remember saying this to you as well. I said if he has a half decent display,
they're gonna start.
They're gonna
talking.
Man United because their stupid fans are gonna look at it and go,
It's not even that.
"There's a chance."
I just think they're just desperate for some glimmer. So it's
But
not
they look at it that going, he could actually
Especially-
transition him into a centre back.
Especially today.
And I saw it afterwards. I
with-
said, "You idiots."
with some of the passing selection that I've seen there. Don't even ask me why United continuously go long. Why? What is there to go long?
It's
for?
Everton up, bro. Not his football.
No, but
Hoyland
but genuinely, Hoyland as well, who's just going through just a patch where it's just like.
What's the
all of
opposite of
good work
purple?
that you
What's the
did-
opposite of purple patch?
He's just going through just a
I
cold.
don't know what patches
He's
is.
going through a cold
blue?
period
I
right
don't
now, where it's all of the work that you did in that hot streak that he had, it feels like he's being undone. Am I having huge red flags about Hoyland in this future? Absolutely not. I think it's a reactionary insane. It's just concerns, or you're just like, you need to understand your game. You're still young. Learn your trade. The issue at Manchester United is learning your trade in the number 9 position. Famously, many pundits have said those positions, especially the keeper and the number 9, are hugely
we
tough.
saw the interview with Ten Hag that Gary Neville just had, and he spoke
softball after softball.
and
By
he
the way,
spoke about how he wanted to sign Harry Kane.
yeah.
And they got Hoyland instead.
Yeah.
And no, they spoke about that.
Start with both. Start with H.
Yeah. But I'm saying Ten Hag said I wanted a striker that's proven he could score 30 goals. He said Hoyland's someone that can become that.
Yeah.
Of course, but he said we needed someone that was ready to that, and he wanted.
Absolutely.
You know,
And he got the call. I swear in his contract, he's got that veto call where if the player comes in, he has a big say.
He didn't say he didn't want Hoyland, but I'm saying he
yeah.
wanted Kane as well. He wanted to sign Kane.
Kane was the primary.
Kane
target.
was the prime, and he said it in the video of Gary Neville, which was pretty cool to hear.
What's interesting is the price tag, though. If this is your second option, you spent £74 million on your second option, which is just goes testament to Man United and other issues that are
for
bigger.
sure. I
But
mean,
if we're talking about just the pitch here, some of the decisions that are being made by professional footballers, and I remember I said it when I was here as well, their faces when they go 1-0 down is hilarious. They're just used to it. It's normal.
Yeah,
it's almost routine now. There isn't actually a difference in the way they play.
reminds me of some people I know.
Doing this stupid press that they do, because it's just a press with 4 players. And then there's the 2 midfield players, a pivot of Eriksen and Kobe Mano.
Wow.
Oh, you're a genius.
The
aren't
most
you?
unathletic double pivot you
Play
can think
that
about.
against these transition demons. Eze, who's just going to just skip past 3 players like it's no problem. There's not... Casemiro with his diving in and challenges. I'm just seeing some of these decisions. I'm like, you're a professional footballer.
He's old.
who's
He's
played
a veteran.
500, 600 games. And we were talking about off camera as well. When you get older, as a professional footballer, usually you say, I'm not going to put myself in positions where my body can't handle it.
Of course.
He does it more. He's gotten older and he said, let me put myself in more positions where I'm going to start harming my team and harming myself.
As someone who's, a little bit on the older scale.
Rash.
Sometimes
Rash is the word.
you do want to test your, have I still got it? Can I still do it?
16 times a game?
I mean, listen,
Every
duel.
duel? Every single duel?
Casemiro is your age mate.
Oh.
I mean, not really. Not really.
You're same
Not
gen.
really.
You were in the same school.
No.
You were in the same school.
Not really.
Genuine.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Sharks! Don't do that! Don't do that! Hey!
You were in school together. You two were in school together.
Hey, you don't acting like you lot far from me,
Look over there. We're not.
Sharks is not far from us.
We're really not. But you're talking about the double pivot and everything.
Yeah.
Is this what life without Bruno Fernandes looks like? Because there's 230 games. First ever game he's missed because of an injury.
I'm so happy he missed this game as well.
What? But can we just talk about that as well, by the way? Because for this Ten Hag regime, to make Bruno Fernandes injured is one of the maddest
The guy who
things.
never gets injured.
He doesn't get injured. In 500, how many? He's played, I think I saw something like 13,000 minutes. 800 plus games.
Yeah.
How many of these stats? He's missed 2 games because of injury.
Yeah.
And this will happen under Ten Hag now, where everyone's getting injured. This is not normal.
So what is? Are you ready to wash your hands of Ten Hag? Or to clean?
Thank you,
hands?
Gary O'Driscoll.
Yeah.
It's a
Are you
point
ready
that
to
has to-
wash your hands of Ten Hag?
No,
Because right here I've got the Ineos hygiene, disinfect to protect. So Jim Ratcliffe's very own. If you want to like, there you go. If you want to like wash your hands,
like that.
That's Ineos. Buy this, guys, so we can get some more money in the summer, please.
if you're ready to like wash your hands off.
I'm not washing my
I
hands.
actually want to use it, you know.
Yeah, it's actually Jim Ratcliffe's.
Washing away this Eric Ten Hag disaster.
No, this is wash away that result.
Clean
And all the
your
results
hands,
that we've
guys.
seen so far, and the performances that we've seen. Wash away Casemiro. That's how I'm washing away right
And
now.
Eric Ten Hag, Rafael Varane.
Listen,
So many man on
with
that.
your question, to answer your question,
Smells nice
Ten
as well. I like
Hag-
the smell of this.
Ten
Ineos, man.
Ten Hag has, and I said it on the previous, I think the watch along that I was on. He's done about as good of a job to get sacked from the new ownership coming in. So
he's not better than good. He's not better than
since
good.
they've started coming, I think it's about turn of the year, maybe even before the talks were happening.
Yeah, talks.
Turn of the year when it was actually confirmed. Jean-Claude Blanc was watching today. He's, by the way, for those who don't know, board of directors at Manchester United.
I don't know who
Also
Jean-Claude Blanc is. I know Lauren.
I know Lauren. He was talking about Lauren Blanc. And then I thought it was Matt LeBlanc. I was like, yeah.
And I thought Jean-Claude.
How you doing?
And I thought, who are these LeBlancs?
Basically, Abs knows every member of staff.
He is necessary. You need to know the changes. It's changing so fast right now. Everyone's just getting headshot out of nowhere. He is interim CEO right now until the City guy comes in. Omar Barada.
The fact that you know these brothers names like this
listen,
is
but-
crazy.
but-
What a name though.
Jean-Claude
Blanc.
Blanc.
Jean-Claude
crazy.
Blanc.
He did the finances for
French.
Juventus, by the way. Sorted them out after the
What
catch
the-
up nonsense. PSG, the whole Jordan deals and all this kind of stuff. He's the man for it. So the financial side is what he's got to deal with, right? Less of that.
So what's
He's
he
there
got
watching
to
this.
do with what goes on the pitch?
My point is
commercial,
this.
it's
He's
commercial.
watching. He's seeing this and he's like, is this the brand that I have to start pushing forward? I can't push this brand forward. This is just horrible. Sellers Park, you're going to Sellers Park. And we know, like you were saying earlier, tough place to play. One thing you can't do at Sellers Park is flake the way that these players do all the time. Eriksen for that first goal, I thought like I was looking at Casemiro. Now Casemiro strips. By the way, we're used to this now. This happens all the time. Eriksen is, and I said, and I tweeted out as well, not even to take a shot at the Arsenal fans, the issues that you saw with Havertz early in the season where it's like, does he fully know how to play midfield? And we're all saying this guy's a number 9. We know he's a number 9. When a player has no awareness of what's going around them, especially at defensive midfield, he's playing in a double pivot where Kobe Mino himself is not necessarily a pure DM. I see him as an 8 as well. So you're playing 2 8s whose best attribute isn't defensive work together, away, Sellers Park, Elise Eze. Genius.
But is that due to just availability or just?
Sophie Amrabat's right there.
Amrabat's there, yeah. I mean,
Amrabat's
you
right
got,
there. And we know Amrabat's been poor for Man United. And this is not me advocating for him to get appearances in the future.
He's a better profile for
it
that
just
game.
makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
Run around, go kick people like you do. At least he's kicking people. Eriksen is watching them do anything. He's just falling over.
I understand. Sorry,
Or even playing a back 5. Even though Sellers Park,
Do it.
go there
But
low
it's not
block.
just Sellers Park. It's throughout the whole season. We commended him last season.
Yeah.
You saw the bleeding early in his first couple of games at Manchester United. Okay.
I'm so happy I put you on Casemiro as well, man.
Yeah, you told me Casemiro early. But in fact, he had a good season in his first year. It's not fair to be
But
disillusioned by it.
I saw the stench earlier. I told him.
No,
I
but
said,
did-
you might
did
be
you-
enjoying it.
No, but did
but I
you
can
see?
see it.
I don't mind giving you credit because you did shout that. But did you see the legs fall off like this? This is historically awful, bro. We saw this last year where he was in the low block and he was covering ground and making challenges. But this season his legs are gone.
Do you know what I know it's about you United fans? You will always wear different kits whenever you come get battered. You be wearing Barca kits. Leah's comes in
QPR.
Madrid and QPR.
QPR,
Leah's
fool.
comes in Arsenal and PSG top.
Arsenal?
Guys,
I've seen him in a Liverpool shirt now.
that's a new one, isn't it? Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about is can Man City drop points? Now, listen, City have 3 games left to play. Arsenal have 2. Obviously, we're talking about the title race right now. City are playing at Fulham, Spurs, and West Ham. Can any one of those 3 teams do something? Or will City win the league as they usually do?
I only have
especially
2
for the 4th
scenarios.
year
I
in a row?
have 3 scenarios.
Go on.
The one I said to you last night when I was with you,
What was it?
I have 30 Arsenal fans at the stadium.
Oh, yes, you had to do a tactic.
yeah,
Craven Cottage.
Craven Cottage, bring 30 Arsenal fans. Whenever City go on the counter attack, someone just runs on the pitch.
Do you know
Just
what?
someone just runs on the
Yo.
pitch.
115 charges?
Yo.
You got to balance
We
it out
don't know.
somehow.
They don't know. How
The
how
fact
much
that
do
they
you
have a neutral stand as well.
How much
get
do you
away
love
with
the
that.
club? How much do you guys love Arsenal? Someone's willing to do
Who
this.
would you get to do it? Ashburton Army.
The Ashburton.
I'm looking at you guys.
Please rise.
Go to Craven Cottage. Do something for us.
Let's see how much they love the club.
Yeah.
Listen.
There's that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go
Then
on.
there's Inshallah with it will be in Leno.
Yeah.
Former Arsenal men.
Yeah.
And then the third one is his club, Spurs Eye View. As Fuad says, Spurs Eye View.
You're banking on us.
No, don't.
The
No,
way they're playing right now.
I'll tell you why I'm banking on Spurs.
You're the bogey team.
No,
I guess what it is.
not even bogey
don't
team.
make
I'll
sense.
tell you why. Because Fuad has said the same thing to me. It's such a Spurs thing to lose to Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and pick a random result against Man City, regardless of how the form has been going. Because the first time they played them when you drew 3-3, I saw a screenshot on someone put on Twitter. Exactly the same. It's like 3 losses, a draw, then I think a dub. But it's exactly the same run as it's been going now.
That was when we had our injury hit, I remember.
It would be a very Spursy end to a very Spursy season, wouldn't it?
Facts.
Up and down.
It would. And I said that a couple of weeks ago to him. I said it would. But
We'll get to Spurs. We're going to talk about Spurs on what
Yeah,
today. I don't
but
want to talk
about
about Spurs. Talk about the title race.
Yeah.
One thing that could happen. There's so many things that can happen. Right?
Possibilities, yeah.
This weekend, what could happen is City go to Fulham away.
Yeah.
They beat Fulham.
Alhamdulillah.
Arsenal drop points to United on Sunday. City win the league on Tuesday against Spurs. That could happen. By Tuesday,
By Tuesday, could be done.
Tuesday,
bro, I'm going to the game.
by Tuesday, City can win the league, right? Because it also is an Arsenal thing to do where we
That would be
we
very Arsenal
seal our
thing to
own
do.
fate. We go to Old Trafford, and it's a United thing to do to be crap and
don't
then
want to
get
this
a result
time.
against Arsenal. Exactly. So I think this weekend is key because it's gonna be a weird one because Fulham, like I said, they have Fulham, they have Spurs, and they have West Ham. West Ham just got smoked by Chelsea.
They're finished, man.
Spurs aren't doing really well right now. So I'm looking at Fulham. I'm not saying Fulham are the best team in the world as well either. They're winless in 3. But I'm looking at Fulham to hopefully see, because all we need is a draw, right? All we need is a draw. And considering we win all our games, we win the league and goal difference, right?
But Fulham got a result against you guys as well early in the year.
They've got 2 results against us. They
Oh
drew
my
and beat
God,
us.
yeah, they drew 1-1 with Palhinha early in the season.
all the
Yeah.
teams that they've got left.
Yeah, the ones that...
2-2, yeah.
2-2, yes, you're right, yes,
And
yeah,
we were
lost.
2-1 up and they had 10 men.
Oh my God.
Calvin Bassey got sent
It's
off.
reminding me of Mercer's Pro Clubs.
Yep, that's what pro clubs.
I love that. He ain't even on Pro Clubs. I love the streak.
But this weekend is key because 12:30 on Saturday, Fulham host Man City. Whatever happens that day, let's say right now, City drop points. We now have over 24 hours to be nervous because we're playing 4:30 p.m. the next day, knowing if we get a win, we're in the driving seat going to last day.
Are they? The question is though,
Wow,
Sharks,
the
are
stakes
they?
are high.
Are they playing Casemiro and Johnny Evans again?
Yeah,
Or have
surely.
they got any centre backs
Probably.
coming back?
Probably. Willie Cambuala, maybe.
Surely.
Maybe.
But listen, I mean,
That's a big if.
it's
a
a big if, and it's in City's hands. And it led me to a question because, of course, I've been saying it, and not just me, to be fair. Professional pundits have been saying it. A lot of people are saying it online. People on the table have been saying it. Arsenal been the best team this season? All of that stuff. But I want to ask is, does the best team always win the league? It's a 38-game season, so surely, right? The best team wins the league. So if City win the league, have Arsenal really been the best team? Because there is, we've at this moment, of course, albeit we played 1 more game than them, we've won more games than them, we've scored more goals than them, conceded less goals than them.
Yeah.
So if they win the league, does that make them the best team this season? Or does it still make us? That's what I'm saying. The question
Sad
is,
as it is,
because
it
I've
does.
thought about it. I saw it be asked this. Does the best team always win the league? And I've thought about it because surely, right?
Yeah.
Because how can we say we're the best team? We've been the best team this season. But for them, if we've been so good, how have they finished
They've been
above
better
us?
than you. They've just been, it might be marginal. And it's something Sir Alex used to say all the time, the 38-game table doesn't lie. Where you finish, you maybe performed to the highest heights. Maybe you had the highest peak out of all of the teams. Over 38 games, these things, it's true after 38 games.
Yeah.
You have been the best team after 38 games. And even if it's marginal.
You can have all the underlying numbers in terms of goals, defense, clean sheets, all of that. But if they have more points on the board, that's because they've won more games. Yeah. They've it could even be you may have won 1 more, but they've drawn maybe 5
It reminds me
more.
of Liverpool losing 1 game and losing the league.
Voila.
They
Yeah,
might
so
7
for me-
points.
Yeah.
But
And that comes down to the total picture.
For sure.
Every game matters.
For
So
sure.
as much as the underlying numbers can show you were statistically actually the best team, when it came down to it, individually, game by game measurement, they were.
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I was like, because it's generally, you could look at it both ways.
Yeah.
You could be like, because if I was going to say no, the best team doesn't have to always win, because I'll make the argument of an unlucky result here and there can happen. You know, you can still be the best team, but you might get an unlucky result.
No, but over a 38 game, there are unlucky
Now,
results.
what happens is if you win the league and you have all those underlying numbers, it just makes it look even more dominant and even more deserving. But it almost leaves a bitter taste if you don't win it. Whereas in City's case, it's like if we don't win it, we can kind of see why. All the numbers are there to show it. But if they do, it's like, numbers paint just one picture. As we say, the game ain't one on paper. Do you know what I mean? It's one on the pitch, and that's where they've essentially won it. So
and I mean, you have a point.
I was going to say, interesting to show the difference between City and Arsenal as well is that these things might happen in moments in a game. And City have more moments players where they might not be performing at City. And everyone said it. City look off it, City look off it. When you always have these moments players who can decide games for you and push the margin to your victory rather than a draw or a loss, this is the difference between a team. And although Arsenal's system, like you say, might have the best for XG against or XG for and then suffocating teams and playing the best, like most suffocating style of football.
But those can have KDB just unlock, Haaland just unlock.
Game breakers. And that's what the league title gives.
And as an Arsenal fan, of course, title race is heating up. City are in the driving seat. How does it feel in 2024 playing, I believe, 16 league games, being almost perfect, 14 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss? How does that feel knowing that we still might not win the league?
I feel very happy regarding it, and because there's only so much you can do. Like before that Jan 1st run in 2024, we lost to Fulham, we lost to West Ham before
West
that.
Ham and Fulham,
back to back, all that stuff. So none of us anticipate. Remember back then as well, no one put us in the title race. Everyone was just looking at it going, it's like the old days, Liverpool, Man City, 2-horse race kind of thing. We was fighting. We had third and stuff, but no one anticipated us to be on this goal scoring run. I don't know what they did in Dubai. I'm just happy. Honestly, I'm just happy. Even if I would love for us to win the league. Even if we don't win the league, we've done our job. You're telling me in 18 games, obviously we've got 2 left. In 18 games, we've won 15, drawn 1, lost 1. Was that 17?
It'll be 16.
16.
If we were to beat United and Liverpool, 16 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, which is
I can't fault our club, but it's as I've said,
this is
how Liverpool fans, 2 halves of us.
But this is how Liverpool fans have felt for years on
sat
end.
here and
And he said this to you guys.
It's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that you think, they're 1 point, they're in distance, we can get them. All they need is to draw to Fulham, to draw to Tottenham, maybe drop points to
what
whoever.
Does make this interesting is with the title race is Sunday. Forget what happened with the Fulham City game for now. If we beat United at Old Trafford, the league goes down to the last day. Albeit, if City just match our result, they win the league, right?
Yeah.
But the last day could still mean we could win the league.
My boy Ferd's going to do us a favour, man.
But how, as a progression, I'm saying as a progression for Arsenal, say City beat Fulham and Spurs regardless, as a progression for as Arsenal, getting to the last day of the season, still being in the league, like winning the league, that surely, because I also saw another thing was like, is it a failure if we don't win the league this season?
I don't think so.
What do you guys think from outside view?
No.
Because you can be biased. You can say, oh, yes, no, whatever. Is it a failure if we don't win the league this season?
As much as I would
because
love
we
to
set out to win the league.
Yeah.
Of course we did, because last year we came second.
Yeah.
And we failed that objective. Is it a failure of a season for us? Because we would also finish trophyless.
As much as I'd love to sit here and be a typical hate, I don't think so. I think in actual fact, you've closed the gap even further to City. And I think when you look at all of those metrics, as you were saying, that's more of a definition that you've actually been a better team than you were even last year.
Oh, for sure.
We'd have more points than last year.
Yeah. There've even been like moments where the December drop, how you bounce back from that. Normally, previous years, how many times have people said, oh, Arsenal are soft-centered, they'd usually cave in and capitulate, especially when it gets to kind of crunch time, the way you handled North London Derby. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's like there have been moments of character where you're thinking, you know what? These men are actually a better team than what they were last year. So I think you have almost better positioned yourself for when that, dare I say, inevitable City, that 1 year where they're not quite there, who's going to be the next up? You guys have almost positioned yourself as, let these men take their finger off the pulse. We're there.
It should be us. Another cool stat as well is that the so-called Big Six, we still United to play away, but we haven't lost a single one home and away to any single team in the Big Six.
It's what you have to do in title race. And
that's what I'm saying.
And to answer your question about the failure,
even City have lost to.
But this also just goes to show the crazy standard City have set as well, man.
That's what I'm saying.
It's absurd. You can't afford to lose a single game in the second half of the season, like more than one. You can't
And I was gonna say,
there's no slip-ups you're allowed.
It's a weird feeling.
After January,
just this weekend, we play a perfect 3-0 win against informed Bournemouth team. City go in and win 5-1 of Haaland scoring 4.
Light work.
So it kind of like
you man try to get close to me in Golden Boot. Watch this.
Man, and just made that separation. About the failure, you guys know my hate of Arsenal.
That's fair enough. I don't like
it.
it.
Right? Well, I hear it.
Don't know about that. I think I was saying earlier in 2024, where you guys, I think, have the most formidable squad you've had since 2004. Sure. And what it's done is meant that, like everything that Fuad is saying, how close you are to it. Are you next up? I was scared Arsenal won the league last year. This season, I need.
They should have. Let's be real. They should have.
And I think that one's more clearly. You look at maybe the Villa game this year, but it's so crazy the standards that if you, like you just say, you drop one game and you're. It's a problem.
I think it was on like an 11-game win streak in the Prem as well.
You've fallen short of your objective. This was the first proper season where you expected to be in a title race because last year was a surprise.
We
to
finished
everyone.
50th year before last, so last year was a surprise. Yeah.
So exactly, last year was a surprise. This year you've gone into it, you've had a fully fit squad, and that's another thing as well because you had injuries last year. You've gone into it with you basically all your cannons are there.
Apart from Timber, which he hasn't
basically other than him. But basically, everyone had.
Tom House has been injured for a bit. I know. We haven't really had a crisis.
How pivotal the Saliba and the
injury crisis.
Exactly. Much better prepared this time around. And I think this goes to is how crazy City are. And I know we've said it so many times over again. The standards that Pep Guardiola has brought to England and brought to Germany before when he was there and went to Barcelona and did it before. What he's done to this country has made it that when United were winning league titles, we could put our foot off the gas. Maybe Jose kind of brought standards that was from the beginning of the season. Years before Jose, you'd say you could have the first couple. You might be a bit rubbish for the first half of the season, but then you lock in towards the business end and that's how you win the league. This one isn't just lock in from the beginning. When it gets past January, you're not allowed to do anything that's a joke.
Yeah.
You have to be basically.
But we have.
You've been doing that though.
I know.
It's more than just that.
It's
more than
like
just
an
that.
impossible gap and then be perfect.
Yeah, you have to
in
be
the
running up. But they did 50 points in 19 games. Yeah, but I don't know how you guys feel. But the longer that he's here, I don't know, because they're gonna go again. They will go again.
The only reason I'm
15 charges.
No, the only reason I'm a bit more hopeful going into out year by year is because we've got the second youngest squad in the league.
Yeah,
and we're competing like this. I know that bar Haaland and a couple of their players, a lot of them are aging, bro.
I think it's all pretty much inevitable that we are the next team to dominate. If there's no real signs of one, which is like players looking to leave. Our best players looking to leave.
A lot of them are signed up.
There's no cool sign of like our manager being outdated or being caught out anytime soon. And he's a manager that maybe is, he's not willing to change his tactics because you see him. He'll play some games like we are a bottom half team and we'll go to defend. Yeah. He'll play some games where we go out, dominate.
That Spurs game is brilliant.
I'm saying, exactly. So he's showing that he's flexible. So all the signs are there in terms of the player's age. They're only gonna get better. So I think it's pretty much inevitable that this group of players will win trophies.
But then you can look at the other as well.
Here's the thing, is this inevitable part. I agree. I think there will be a core that stays together for the next 4 or 5 years, and they're probably going to win a couple of trophies. Now the Premier League one, I think, similar like I said earlier, we're all predicted maybe this 1 year where City don't dip.
I still have hope that could be this season. We might win it.
It could be, it could be. But then if, for example, next season they just re-up because they've got that Savio kid coming in, they sign another 2, Florian Wirtz, let's say they decide, okay, Paqueta, we're going to bring you. They just decide to beef up and have that one man summer.
But you think we won't? Like last season,
that degree?
No.
They have that
degree? But I think we did better than them this summer in terms of signings. The summer that just went because.
They did Nunes and they were like this. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking City there's always one summer where they usually go very heavy all out, maybe once every 4 years.
Yeah, but they were a better team before the summer as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So obviously you guys boosted up for sure. But that was to catch up to what the squad that they had 2 seasons before. And they added some, the Doku, Mateus Nunes, all this kind of stuff. And it's not a strong transfer window. And you guys have been a strong transfer window.
We bought in David Raya, the Golden Glove this season. We bought in Declan Rice, obviously, which we bought him half price. We got him half price. Declan Rice, we got him half price. Kai Havertz,
game winner,
unbelievable, has been, especially since going in the line. He's been unbelievable. Arsenal Player of the Month in April. During Timber as well, which is going to feel like a new signing now when he starts playing. And then I think in the summer we will keep adding to that. We will keep signing players.
It'll be interesting.
I do think next season. I think I have a feeling we could do it this season. Still,
who are you hoping on out of the fixtures?
Fulham. Yeah, man. We'll see. But
don't bank on us. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm backing on. I'm putting all the blame on Fred.
The best feeling will be the luck has run out. They've won the league on the last day twice. The luck will run out. West Ham will do something on the last day. While I'm at the Emirates, I'll be checking my phone. I've always wanted that feeling. You know that feeling, yeah? Where you see, I think when you're on it, checking.
Someone's checking the radio. Like, yo, they just scored. They just scored.
Yeah, I need that. But imagine, that would be the best thing in the world. And it's perfect as well because
PTSD.
we've already, but I think, yeah, of course. But I think whatever happens this season, whether we win or lose it, I think next season.
No, next season, we're winning the league next year. I'm saying that now.
Question, next season, what do you think you're going to add over the summer that is going to help you cross that line?
Me personally.
Because let's say City continue to strengthen.
Resources and a better manager.
Yeah, so let's say they continue to strengthen. They continue to be the City that they are.
Yeah.
What is the thing that you lot think you need, or the type of player you lot think you need to push you over that?
I just want an X factor. I want to add a copper X factor. I know it's difficult, but
example, if possible.
Liao. For me.
7 league goals, Liao.
It doesn't matter. Within this,
I'm just asking questions.
Within the system that we play,
they'll be fine.
I feel like he will flourish a lot.
You could give him that whole
Look
left-hand
at
side.
AC Milan. They gave him the keys. They gave him the keys too early. Like he's just a great player, but the players around him, they're not up to his level.
No, I agree.
I look at him. I'm like,
I really like him.
Rashford,
But an X factor, and for me, an X factor for a winger,
he's got the technical ability.
an X factor for a winger and a centre mid, an 8, preferably an 8. I want that. I'm not too. You know how every Arsenal fan's concerned about a striker. For me, that's not my what I've seen from Kai. Yeah, what I've seen from Kai Havertz, and I know the growth he's gonna have now that he's 1 year under this new system.
Yeah.
I know all he's gonna do is flourish through it. So in my head, I'm like, I don't really need that. We've seen it. We've all seen it. He dropped Martinelli for Trossard. Obviously, Trossard's form is really good, and he scored in key moments.
Yeah.
But realistic, Martinelli at 20 years old, from what he did last year, that's what we shouldn't be looking at those two sides.
Yeah.
But for me, there's a question. And with Arteta, we know he's a ruthless coach. If he's not willing to play Martinelli and give him the minutes that he deserves, that he wants, I feel like he's gonna look at that position and go, you know what? Trossard's really good, but he's aging a bit. He's clutch, but he's a very good impact player.
Then there's other questions. Arteta, has he dealt with these? Because with big players that you're talking about, the X Factor players, not just ego an issue, character, personality, dressing room. Although I feel like Liao's like I'm sure he will enjoy playing at Arsenal.
In London, anyway.
In London as well, he'll enjoy all that kind of stuff. But we haven't seen how Arteta deals with these kind of level of players because there's not really that kind of X Factor ego kind of player. Everyone. Arteta says jump, they say how high. They play to his...
They're his boys.
Exactly. When other players do come in, another thing is that he keeps quite a small squad. And I saw Alex say this, Alex who's on the show. He plays quite a small squad.
Yeah, that's been one.
He really does.
If these big players come in, these guys who are his boys, is there going to be issues with them being rotated to that kind of... Because Smith Rowe looked like he'd have a future at Arsenal. Obviously, there's external factors.
Your boy.
Eddie. Reece, people have been promised things and given contracts.
Haaland.
How do they deal with that dynamic? Because although those players aren't, oh my God, big clubs are in for them, they might have to look somewhere else and try and say...
Yeah, but I think that's part and parcel of trying to be the best team in the world.
Top club, yeah.
At the end of the day, Arsenal are no longer the Arsenal of old. Arsenal are no longer the team. It's like, we're top 4 team, top 5 team. We are trying to be the best team in the world.
Absolutely.
To be the best team in the world, you've got to be more ruthless. You've got to put the club first, put winning first, and I'm sorry if you're not good enough to win us Premier League and Champions League.
So it might be them that go and some first team players 100%. Who are now might become those players.
100%.
And
that's the aim of the game. That's the aim of the game. That's how it's going to be.
What would you say, Marcus Rashford?
I'll take him in a heartbeat.
I'll take him. I'll gladly take him.
Because I know you said Liao, and I'm looking at Marcus Rashford. I'm thinking United could potentially put him up for sale this summer.
I'll take him.
Arteta has a tendency to take broken guys and try and fix them. Rashford, he could be another one, bro.
I can fix him.
And we'll see, but obviously...
I don't mind seeing this celebration at the Emirates.
Exactly.
You'll see it next year.
Go on, big bro.
It's been United shirt.
And staying on
this, there all the time.
Staying on this season, the title race is very close. City, of course, have...
Thank God we didn't mention Liverpool in that. Yeah, Goodness
City,
gracious
of course,
me.
do have a game in hand. So if both Arsenal and City win all their games, the league will go to Manchester, the blue side of Manchester, once again, the 4th year in a row.
There's no joy in these Man City fans.
Just in case,
another league. Wow.
Just in case it doesn't, we have a parade booked May 20th.
First coming.
Nah, this is crazy though.
Nah, we have to. It's the law.
You have to let the councils
Road
know.
closures.
Sadiq Khan.
Who's
Roads have got to be closed. You got to book it in advance.
So Sadiq can't make it laws.
You're not letting Sadiq Khan run things at your club.
Roads have to be closed and everything.
Hey,
I'm sure he passed that law.
You've got.
whoever that.
I don't know
who's
who
the council at
announced.
Highbury.
We didn't announce it. Someone leaked it. But
Daniel
it's true.
Levy.
I just feel
Daniel
like
Levy,
if a club wins the Premier League, they should be given like some kind of special
treatment.
So what do you want them to do
Ruling
the next day? Go,
Oh,
you know
last
what?
minute.
No, yeah,
It's a
blood.
Monday.
Bro, if the club wins, you send a little letter round and say, yo, next
Tomorrow?
week Monday,
Well, you got on a
lock off.
You got
But it's
on
not next
everything
week.
lock
It's
off.
not next week. The league finished on the 19th.
Yeah.
The parade's on the 20th.
What are you lot doing next day for? You man are that excited?
That's what you got to do next day.
man are
Running town, no?
excited, man.
Bro.
It's
Yeah,
usual
it
happens,
is.
no?
Don't
It's usually what happens,
don't
bro.
everybody party
See,
for like
you
a
don't
little?
know
He know about parades.
I'm asking questions.
You ain't been here before. You been here before. Come on, man. You ain't seen this before.
I hate you lot. I swear I hate you lot.
You ain't no. Open top parade.
I love that
The
moment,
realization.
yeah. We all looked at each other and
Like, wait a minute. I know about this.
No, do you know what it is?
Are you that excited?
I'm thinking of the Leicester one, but they won it on a day where they weren't playing, was it? So they had
Yeah,
the
yeah,
party.
so
and
Yeah,
then
Chelsea
they,
did it for them. Yeah,
cool.
but the league finished on the 19th, so if you confirm it on the 19th, then the
That
20th.
is
You better
killing me,
excited,
man.
man. How long you been here before, man? You been invincibles, blood.
Unbeatables. Lame,
Oh, by the
Layman's
way,
taking it.
yeah, I
Layman's
was just about to
So
say.
we go by unbeatables now.
What do you like actually think of that? Just a little side. note.
Take it, real one.
What's this?
Layman's taking the rights.
The
of
trademark.
In trademark, Invincibles.
Jens Lehmann.
Jens Lehmann has solely taken that for himself.
Arsenal never trademarked it.
Yeah.
Layman's taking it. And he got a bunch of the players that were always Invincibles to sign off. So they did it.
How can they blindside the
Hey,
club?
man, do you know how mad that is? You're legends.
So he's going to start a company, basically. I don't know what it's going to be, but he's going to use the name Invincibles.
If that company's meaty,
But Arsenal can't use
then
it.
Arsenal need to.
So when you go
Soon.
to games, like now I go, yeah, like you know when they bring like
Arsenal can't sell
Yeah.
nothing.
the invincible.
No, they can't say it no more.
So I have to say
The unbeatable.
The
unbeatable.
Oh, shit,
That
that
sounds
is-
dry. I mean, that
like,
is.
you know, in Pro Evolution Soccer, we need to go, man. West London FC,
That's
man red.
bad, that's bad.
And it's such an Arsenal thing to do as well. I had to be an Arsenal player.
Man red.
Back to back
It had
door.
to be the psycho.
London
of it
Reds
as well.
FC.
How's the own Arsenal player backdooring the club?
That's actually that's slimy. That's slimy. That's poor from
You
me.
know it's
that's
poor. You
true.
know what's poor? I'm not surprised Spurs fans didn't think of it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
how,
sometimes you might
on what
just-
basis can they take? Oh, just for a joke.
Just-
Just for a joke,
for
just say,
Chelsea.
well, you can never use it.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. That would be shit house, isn't it? That'd be brilliant.
Listen, every trademark has an expiry.
Too late now.
We'll be there for the next one.
Too late now. Moving on now. The next question I have. Are Chelsea finally on the up under Pochettino? They're looking good. That's 3 games in a row now. They haven't won 3 in a row, but 3 good results in a row. They drew 2-2 away at Villa. They've beaten Spurs 2-0 with a clean sheet, and now they've had another clean sheet against West Ham, winning 5-0.
Yes. Do you remember when I was here saying that they should stick with Pochettino and Leas was accusing me? Oh, you're just a patch lover.
J'accuse.
Who's that voice?
And even Sean was like, "Nah, we need to get rid of him." And I was like, "Bro, just let things
Rory
build."
hates him.
Listen, I'm not
Rory loved
surprised.
him at
I'm
one
not
point,
surprised.
no?
I'm not surprised. The way things have gone this season has been very up
boy,
and down.
No, but they blame the fact he used to manage Spurs. So, but like, how are we getting the
I
Spurs
felt
back
yeah,
into
yeah,
manage?
a lot of the
yeah,
times,
yeah.
Big Chelsea.
he was just getting blamed
So
for
come on.
things that players were doing wrong. Like systematically, I felt like Chelsea. There was games where they were creating a lot of chances.
Very
players
true.
weren't finishing their dinner.
Very true.
Then they get cost by one defensive mistake. Pochettino's fault. I'm like,
No,
what are we seeing? Now there was
part.
parts where obviously
His game
the
management-
players
Horrible
he played
game
out of
management.
position, the game management. But I was
was
like,
bad.
there's gonna come a time when everybody's fit. You have a better understanding of your squad. Things are gonna start clicking a little bit. And I feel like Palmer's obviously papered over a lot of cracks. But now I feel like over the past maybe month and a half, you're seeing a much better version of Chelsea, a much kind of more cohesive. Even some of the squad players like Noni, Jackson, all of a sudden has started to hit a bit of form. Defense has started to look a bit more solid. And I'm just like, this is what you should do. Give managers time. Not give them 6 months, put them on a sign stamp, and then say, yo, you got 6 months to turn us back into Chelsea or you're sacked.
No,
But
but
it's,
the-
it's the issue with any Chelsea manager, though.
it-
Because
it's-
it's the
it's
heritage of Chelsea.
100%. They've never given anybody any patience. And I think Pochettino coming in as a former Spurs manager, he's always got his backs against the wall. But I feel
100%.
like he's done enough of a decent job this season to be given another chance.
It
Next
depends. It all depends where he finishes. Because if he finishes within that top 7, top 6 from where he started,
season, yeah.
They will.
it's a good job from him.
What's interesting now is it's weird because when you think about Chelsea and you look at the table, it's two different stories. Because I try to look at the table now to realize what's going on. They're above Man United.
Yep.
And now you're thinking there's a lot of what ifs. Even more recently, the Sheffield game where they conceded a 93rd minute equaliser. Burnley. And Burnley would have conceded a late equaliser as well.
Yeah, Burnley 10 minutes.
Well, winner as well, yeah. Those two games, and there's obviously a lot more early in the season, but just to pick out two recent ones, they could be as high as joint with you guys as fifth.
And they're not like...
They're only, so they're right in there. They're seventh right now.
Still.
And they could have easily been, and they're probably going to finish there, unless Newcastle have a slip up. They could even finish sixth, as high as sixth.
Yeah.
Which is strange, because you wouldn't think that for Chelsea this season, and it's like, if you look at Spurs, who now no one's going to say Spurs had a great season, but Spurs aren't being spoken about as being as bad as Chelsea this season. Chelsea have scored one more goal than Spurs and conceded one more goal than Spurs. Like same amount of losses.
Same
amount of losses as Spurs as well.
Narratives are important, man.
PR is so important, because if you've watched Chelsea through this season objectively, as you mentioned, you alluded to this earlier, it hasn't been like, just for example, Man United
Stale
issues,
football,
where it's like, what the hell is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I understand the frustration of Chelsea fans, and the frustration is probably deeper than just what's happening on the football pitch, because it's their club and it's what's changed and it's Roman and it's all of this has changed, and they have to get used to that. But what they've done on the football pitch is be a team that there might be some issues with certain players, but they create chances. Specifically the cup game where they played against them, I think it was City, and they created a huge amount of chances.
Oh, yeah.
And
Nico Jackson could have had
even
2
the
or
cup
3.
final against Liverpool in League Cup.
Yeah.
Exactly, huge amount of chances created. So it was you can see with your eyes that a few things in better places, and like you say, the margins of games being different. It being such a young squad in these moments, these very important moments in a game, the dying minutes of a game, if they had more experienced players who can tell them, no, we're in here now, we're staying in a shape, for example, it would help them a lot more.
And I do think in the past couple of games, Enzo being out has brought a bit more balance to that.
And that is something I was going to ask, because Enzo's last game was a 5-0 loss against Arsenal. Since Enzo's obviously done his injury, since been out, they've had 3 very good results. Like I said, a draw away at Villa Park and 2 clean sheets and scoring 7 goals in 2 London derbies against Spurs and West Ham. Is our Spurs? I mean, put it frankly, are Chelsea better without Enzo? Is it that Caicedo Gallagher double pivot with Palmer now sitting in the 10 working better for them? Because Gallagher has now scored in back-to-back games, I think, and he's doing well in that midfield position.
Yeah.
Is that a better balance for them? No one's saying Enzo's a bad player, but is it just a better balance? It's just unfortunate.
Fully agree. I think since they signed Enzo, it's
he
been
hasn't
pretty
scored in
much
back-to-back games, but
yeah. But it's since they signed Enzo, it's been pretty much finding Enzo, like finding what's the best role for him. Last year they were playing him as the deepest one. This year is kind of giving him a bit more license to attack more, but it just hasn't worked out.
I think it's preparation for Enzo as well.
Who's that?
I think it's preparation for Enzo as well. As in, I don't think he
prepared.
adjusted to the Premier League and prepared himself to go, you know what? I didn't know it was this challenging.
I don't know. I that bit, like, I can't confirm.
Everything seems to just happen so fast.
I can see that on the pitch, though, in terms of intensity of the Premier League. Things do pass him by.
Because the thing with Caicedo as well, he was doing.
He knew
2
the
jobs
Premier
in
League,
one.
though.
He knew the job, but he was doing 2 jobs as one. He was doing the running for Enzo more or less, and then having to play as a DM, but then to be a box to box as well, and it just killed him.
And I do feel like Caicedo has been defensively way more reliant this season and been more consistent, and I feel like he's been brushed with the Enzo brush sometimes unfairly.
The big money
and I think Gallagher's
brush,
been their best midfielder all season, and now he's just been kind of
linked to you
given
guys,
that role.
I'm not comfortable saying Gallagher's the best midfielder. I know, like,
well, they're best.
The hardest working
central
midfielder
ones. I know Palmer's there, of course.
No, I'm not even talking about Cole, because you're right, Cole's their best player. It's Cole Palmer FC at this point in time.
But Gallagher, since the start of the season till now, bro, he's been vital to what they've been doing all season.
But I can't lie.
Whether you like it or
No,
not,
I can't lie with my eyes.
whether you like
Gallagher.
it or not is one thing. But has he been effective for that Chelsea team?
Effective, okay.
100%.
I can't disagree with that. It's not possible to dispute that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying what I've seen with my eyes. Am I comfortable in
You're doing eye test here.
No, but because it matters. It matters. My eyes can't lie to how bad I've seen him.
Get it done dirty.
And 100%. And it's why. I
I mean,
appreciate.
get stuck in.
No, but it's
Do
why-
the hard yards. Yeah, these youngsters, they don't understand. They want everything gifted to them. They don't understand how to get out of the mud. Yeah. Respect Gallagher, man. Real trench, baby. Hey, man, nah, I got a lot of time for Gallagher.
I like Gallagher.
You and Leah's
I
be doing up too much
I
of this
don't.
eye test stuff. Nah, man, respect him.
But listen, I'm someone who appreciates Bruno Fernandes. That's not great. That's effectiveness. I'm not saying that I can't take that away from him, right? But I can't watch what I've seen, some performances I've seen from Gallagher.
Yeah.
With my eyes this year.
I hear it.
And I
hear it.
feel like my eyes were bleeding. There's one time I saw a whole segment that I saw was Conor Gallagher, look how he presses. Oh my God, Conor Gallagher, how much he runs and
But is that
it's an
not
important
important?
role. Of course, it's an
Is that
important
not
role on a football
important,
pitch. But if you're a midfielder, the first thing I shouldn't be saying about you is your running stats and how much you're pressing.
If
I'm
you're-
sorry, as you're a
yeah,
midfielder, and
if you're off the
I'm
ball
trying to give you the
movement,
title,
yeah.
It shouldn't
best
be- it
midfielder for
shouldn't be
Chelsea
a
this season.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a
It
primary.
shouldn't be a primary.
Yeah.
But as you say, key role.
I
for
don't know.
Chelsea.
He's played a role for the team.
I don't
has,
think
he
that.
has.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
don't
take
think
that.
that.
But Sharks, I'm
talking over each other,
I'm looking at you and you're like, I don't think like you're not agreeing much with it in terms of like him being good at bleep tests and stuff. That's what he is. He's a cardio man.
It's important.
He's very good. Like he's very good. He can get up and down the
important.
pitch.
Enzo needs a bit of it.
Enzo needs it.
Enzo needs a
Because
bit
when
of
you
it.
want to talk about Ndombele and these kind of players, they have no fitness. So it's important.
But I can
Balance is important, 100%.
100%. But I could go on YouTube and watch Ndombele highlight and get off my feet.
Wow.
If I
Okay,
slap
cool.
on,
Oh
Gallagher's
my
effective.
God, Conor Gallagher compilation.
Hey, can we stop using Ndombele as a beating stick here, man?
Do you know the Conor Gallagher compilation? What it's full of?
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Bro, it's what he's doing.
Third man runs,
Oh.
long
What's
shot
a third man
goals.
run?
You
A
see,
third man- a third man
That's
what this is, a third man run.
You see the left foot curler the other day.
Wow.
They acting like that would have been in the first 3 seconds.
I'm just
I
saying.
know why you like him because you and
He's
Pro
linked
Clubs is
to
the same.
Oh, Pro Clubs is the same.
He likes to shoot from deep. That's what you do. He scores bangers.
He understands my game.
That's a third Cavani player. Yeah, that's a third Cavani player.
Let's get back to this. Yeah, another thing I want to ask about Chelsea, anyways, is Nico Jackson. Is he misunderstood? Has he been badly, disrespected?
You know what?
I mean, if you look at the basis, yeah, 18 GA this season. 13 goals.
But this
I
is-
mean, but I'm going to say context is important because I don't think he's been that good. I'm still going to say
Exactly.
it. He scored a hat-trick against a 9-man Chelsea, Spurs. Like, come on.
He
I
scores
think-
braces and hat tricks.
That's why it looks good
But-
because he's 13. He scored 13 goals.
It's in bunches.
But maybe in 6 games he scored. He's only scored in 6 games.
It wasn't Son like that for quite a while as well. His purple patch, and I'm not comparing Son to Jackson, but there was times where Son would go for a purple patch and he's scoring mad goals, and then by the end of it, he's realizing the golden boot conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
If he does that throughout a whole season and he's against meaty teams with 9 men and you win golden boot, you don't care. My thing with Nico Jackson is how much he improves the team around him. And I've been critical of him in front of goal because it's been calamitous this season overall. If you look and take a step back, but what he does for the team, he reminds me a bit of Martial in that sense. Where it's when you play, does the team play better? Yes. Do you have issues with him in front of goal? Yes.
Gabriel Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus is another one. And this is someone that you love a lot, Gabriel
Don't compare him
Jesus.
to Nico Jackson, though.
No, but it's the profile. It's not necessarily the same, exactly
Not
the same.
profile.
No, but in terms of how they, not just a striker, the footballer. Nico Jackson's a very good footballer.
And Jesus is twice the player he is.
Again, I'm not saying it's on the same level.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's on the same level. I'm just saying the fact
What's the
that you
discussion?
have Jesus, issues in front of goal,
they're not
great
score first
footballer.
strikers.
Nico Jackson, less of a great footballer, issues in front of goal. That's the comparison that's being made.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not wild to say Jesus and Nico Jackson are in the same kind of profile conversation. But Nico Jackson improves the players around him, runs with the ball so well. We saw the time when he was pacing down the line against Saliba and it's like, whoa.
He's a winger, someone said.
That's what I said. I said
a winger,
left winger.
He
I
could do
think
that job. He could
next
do that
season
job.
when they sign a striker, push him to the left. Nobody's made
But he
that
does
position
so
there
well
wrong.
from turning when he receives the ball in that number 9 position, turning a defender and running and
He's
playing
got
the pass,
very
bro.
good. He's got
good at
very.
linking up
He's got
play.
very good decision making for someone that
Yeah.
is playing up front.
who I thought his confidence would be low.
Havertz
Yeah.
another one. Havertz not going to score 20
Havertz is another
goals.
one.
He's
Yeah.
only
Havertz is
scored
another one.
25 goals in the season for us.
Absolutely.
You're
But he
shocked. You're
improves it.
shocked with me saying he's got good decision
The
making.
decision making part, I'm like,
No, he does.
Like how many times he's assisted
He's
or
saying
he's
maybe
like
not
he's
good
dribbling
weight
past
of
people
passing.
and the weight of the pass is
Very
right.
good.
His touch is good in terms of that.
does finishing not count as part of your decision making?
That's what I was going to say. Maybe
Because
not.
I'm
not
like,
looking
there'd
at-
be
but
times where I'm like, brother, side foot
sometimes
in
I
the
think-
corner and he's
But I'm not
lacing
but
that through.
regarding that. I'm not
Okay,
really.
yeah.
I wasn't
No, that's
really
fair.
talking about his finishing aspect. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I was talking about
His
when
overall
he's
play.
on the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know what he's like.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he,
I know
when
what
he-
you mean, I know what you
Since
mean.
he's had a haircut, fair enough. But going back to what you're.
That's what I was gonna actually
Yeah.
attribute a lot of the recent form to was the seriousness and
Saka
haircut.
did the same thing as soon as he left blonde.
Bro.
But going back to your question, Sharks, I feel like the question you asked me, asked us on the table, I feel like that's what kills Nico Jackson, because the moment we start talking about, you know what, he might be a decent player, this, that, he's gonna have that feeling where when he has a bad game, Chelsea fans and everyone's just gonna pile onto him.
I just feel like they have been.
But they have been. But regarding now that he's picked up a little bit of form again, where he's scoring goals, assisting, people are gonna be like,
don't show me love now.
Like how you said, 18 GA, like he's 18 GA, this, that. He looks decent on paper.
Yeah,
it's his best season in club football,
it's
regardless
his
of
first
Villarreal
season in England, guys.
But it's his best season in any
I know,
competition.
but it's which is testament.
That's amazing.
To him. In his first
for 30
season,
million, I'll take that. But don't put no
100%
rating.
million.
Yeah, for me, don't put no rating on it. Just look at him as Nico Jackson, the player. I'm not
Absolutely.
looking at him as
Absolutely. They might sign him
you're
about
Chelsea,
striker as well.
if you're Chelsea manager, board, whatever, does Nico Jackson start next season for you?
Yeah, left wing.
You're trying to get back in top 4.
Left wing.
That's what I said. Left wing.
Imagine having a second option that can get you 13 Premier League
I
goals.
think he's done enough to warrant being in the team next season.
100%.
And I think left wing is kind of the place. You go for someone who you know can guarantee you more
And
goals.
you drop someone like Mudryk, you spent a lot of money on.
100%.
Get him out now,
The
quickly.
time for your price tag keeping you in the team has
You still
gone
want him
now.
out? Would you
Wallah,
want him
That was this season.
No. I was the person who was like, I feel like Arteta could change him. You know, I was that. Wallahi, when I watched
We got
him
Rice at home.
live. Okay, fair enough. When I watched him live,
I hate that. I even laughed at that.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Continue.
with what you call it, not Rice, with Mudryk. Wallahi, when you watch him live, he looks like he shouldn't even be in a championship level team. Damn, he's that bad. Wallahi,
Live, FIFA, at
he's
home.
that bad.
With the
I
man
mean, the
them.
question I asked was,
horrible.
are Chelsea finally on the up? So the last thing I want to ask is, are they going to continue to be on the up? And next season, what should they do to get into that top 4? What are we expecting for them next season?
Stop this chopping and changing. I think that's what killed Pochettino a lot this year. Obviously, he's had injuries and stuff like that, but I felt like he was stubborn. There was periods where they had Thiago Silva healthy, even though he's old. Thiago Silva healthy, but he's just been riding bench.
Yeah.
Didn't try. Like he was like, I'd rather go with the sassy Buddy Shield. And we everyone here on the table knew that's not really working. He's finally brought Trevor Chalobah back into it, and he's been wanting to get rid of him
a lot.
from the get-go. And he's just a simple player. He's nothing special, but he does the job at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gusta's been a revelation at right back, but
Yeah.
having that back line with Cucurella as well. I remember he tried the Maatsen, he tried Chilwell for a bit. Cucurella at left back, but
Colwell.
Even early in
Colwell
the
as
season,
well.
I don't know if it's against you guys, but I saw him inverting into that midfield role. He's playing in that left centre mid or next to the DM. Cucurella's got the technical ability to do that.
really does.
He definitely does have the technical ability. My issue is always with him defensively. He seems to have cleaned that up in recent weeks. We have to talk about the injuries. We have to talk about it because they have been, as much as United have had an injury crisis, Chelsea have had injury crisis as well. Their best player, Reece James, is still in turmoil with injuries.
Still ain't even
Comes
seen
back
Nkunku.
We still ain't even seen Nkunku.
I saw-
So
I
maybe
saw-
they don't need to sign a number 9 if
I
they
saw
get
him
Nkunku
about
back.
12 minutes, 15 minutes against
He looked decent.
thingy. No, he's always looked good. Even in the cameo against
Yeah.
Liverpool away.
Yeah.
Well, so I said, he's got something
He's
about
got
it.
something about him,
But
for sure.
I feel like that's kind of killed
Once they
Pochettino
get
as
their
well.
players back, I feel like that'll be one thing, obviously. But I think getting that big number 9
They
who's a goal scorer,
really need a striker.
like they actually have to address that position. And personally, I think signing a leader at the back. I think
Yeah.
as much as all the youngsters that they have, Disasi, Badia,
Even if Fofana comes back, even if he
I'll
comes
be honest with
I've
you,
given up on Fofana. But I
love
really like him, but
Fofana.
I've given up on him. man.
Yeah, I don't think Chelsea is going to be where he refines his peak. He might refine his fitness, but he needs to.
You got to remember, he's
find new
had
grass.
2
Back-to-back
big
bad
injuries
injuries.
at such a young age.
Yeah.
I think Colwell needs to make a huge jump next season.
Oh, he's been on my eye. No, you know how he's been
He's
caught days?
someone-
He's part of it.
There we go.
He's part of it.
Listen. Let's talk about a team that suffered the big defeat to Chelsea because this was a 5-0 game. The next question we have was David Moyes disrespected about West Ham because West Ham have now confirmed that David Moyes will leave at the end of the season when his contract expires. It came straight after them losing 5-0 to Chelsea, which now has extended their winless run in the Premier League to 9 games. A statement released on Monday from the joint chairman, David Sullivan, said, "On behalf of everyone at West Ham United, I would like to offer our sincere thanks and gratitude to David for the contribution he has made to the football club during his time as manager." But obviously, his time as manager has come to an end, and it looks like Lopetegui has now agreed to become his successor. Have they been, because the fans have been calling for his head a little bit now because they've been in a bad run of form. Does it feel like he's been a bit disrespected now?
Very disrespectful.
No.
I'm hearing two different.
We've had a couple of West Ham conversations on SDS, and my first one was about when I felt like the Moyes out West Ham fans were being gaslit by the ones that were kept referencing exactly what David Moyes references in all of his post-match interviews, like you guys were telling me earlier about Declan Rice, and also about the European title. We get it. You've won the European title for West Ham. Fantastic contribution. Great night. It's brilliant for the club. West Ham, ever since they moved to London Stadium, I feel like the fans have been disillusioned into thinking, you've moved into the London Stadium now, you've made a step up as a club, you're going to start seeing the same thing on the pitch. We saw it in terms of quality of signings in recent times. Paqueta, Kudus. Alvarez, yeah, absolutely right. Ward-Prowse. Scamacca. We saw these kind of names being brought in, but those names being brought in
Again.
with the manager that's there, Agerd as well, I just feel like he's been holding these players back. That's just my opinion on it. And I feel like Moyes has had to leave for a long time. And sometimes you have to look at the character of managers because how they speak affects so much how fans feel.
Yeah.
If after every single loss that you're watching this horrible style of football and with these quality players, why is Bowen, Kudus and Paqueta starting at the halfway line? They shouldn't be. Yeah. The quality of players, they should be allowed to express themselves.
He's defiant.
And the problem with him is how stubborn he is. And I understand there's been some big results where they played defensive football against Arsenal this season, where they had some big results, even they beat United, which everyone can do. But they did that, but they're still wanting more. The promises that were made by this club of let's move forward, let's get these players in. Yeah. It has to be consistent with the manager I brought in. Before Lopetegui was confirmed, I was hoping for a better name. Someone like Unai Emery, the job that he's done for Aston Villa. Potentially Amorim. And he even came over to London to talk about the West Ham job. He had a stinker. While he's at Sporting Lisbon, coming to London and then going back to sign a contract.
He had a stinker.
He tried to play hard to get.
The Moyes out brigade.
He killed himself on the Liverpool job as well.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, you disagree. Go on. You're saying he has been disrespected. I think it's
very highly disrespectful. Yeah, you're right in terms of the style of play at West Ham might not be great, but there was periods this season where we was all praising Paqueta, Kudus, Bowen, McKellen.
Was that an individual brilliance thing they were talking about?
You can't really look at it as individual brilliance because they're all shining at the same time. I would hate if there was a patch where one of them was only shining. It was not the case.
Why does the tandem mean exactly? It's not individual brilliance? Maybe they're all playing well at a good time. That can happen.
Yeah, but does it not go down to Moyes' coaching more than them all turning up at the same time?
I'm not giving credit to Moyes for these attacking players playing well. He's been assassinating attacking. Bro, for his career, he's been assassinating attacking players. Bro.
If Paqueta's doing well, Kudus doing well, and Bowen's scoring, that could mean that they
are performing.
And that doesn't go to how the system and how Moyes plays them.
No, I think it's them performing in spite of the system rather than because of the system.
I'm leaning more towards this.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the case.
Because I look at those players and I'm like, they can produce something out of nothing. You could put them in the worst case scenario. Paqueta will dribble past 3 players and make something out of it. Kudus, same thing. And the thing is I understand if it's a player, for example, like we play low block and Antonio gets all his goals on transition, then you could say it's a systematic thing. But I look at those guys and I'm like, Bowen has been eating regardless. Bowen has been eating whilst being fed off scraps.
Do this for me.
And it shows as well because they have.
I'm looking at you guys.
Because they've had big losses. Fulham beat them 5-0. We beat them 6-0. They now lost 5-0 to Chelsea. So
no, but they're 8th, 9th for a reason. Kind of.
Yeah, they're gonna have 6-0 is not acceptable regardless.
The one thing that's killed David Moyes this season was his backline. Bar Emerson Palmieri. Their backline hasn't been great. Hasn't been great, bro. Aguero's form died. I don't know how that happened. His form died. Mavropanos had a little bit of a stretch where he looked decent. Kurt Zuma was in and out of the lineup through injury and stuff like that. They played Ogbonna and Kurt Zuma just this weekend. There's a reason why they got moved to this week. There's some players.
But is that not on him to defensively, who's someone known to defensively and structurally improve teams to make them better, or at least harder to break down?
It's hard
like when you're losing 5 to a Chelsea team like that.
That's not
who just lost 5 the week before. For me,
but it's too hard to say because even when you guys got rid of Gareth Bale and you had them replacements, some of them it took a while. Some of them you saw little spurts. Like this season, James Ward-Prowse and Edson Alvarez, they started off the season, especially Ward-Prowse, started off the season firing. Then everyone clocked, there's a reason this guy came from Southampton and he's a decent player.
But even then...
even Edson Alvarez, it might have took him ages to
But even then, what are you talking about? Edson Alvarez breaking the game up That's what you're praising. Yeah, okay, he was a fantastic signing, but Ward-Prowse, we was praising him for set pieces, bro. It
That's
wasn't
true.
like he was
that comes
running
once, twice a
games
game,
and come on, bro. Like,
I mean,
it was he's almost scored from a corner here. It's a free kick.
I'm with that regarding
I'm
that.
kind of more on your side in terms of I think they've evolved past David Moyes, and I think the perfect time to leave on a high note, with all the respect of the fan base, was after that European crown. I deliver you your first trophy. I've come back a second time to the club. I've done the redeeming arc on my name.
100%.
Let me leave here. 100%. The fact that he stayed on this season, I think a little bit of fans were like, how are we going to progress from here?
It was only going to go down. And I mean, the only thing I'd give him praise for tactically, like I said, with the team is he moved Bowen into the 9, and Bowen's shown
deserves credit for that.
Definitely deserves credit for that. But yeah, I mean, listen, it is sad. Go on then quickly.
The last thing
move past
with West Ham as well. Yeah, I understand obviously getting rid of Thingy, but if you already know how much this guy's done for you, let him go and announce it himself. They'll come from rather than let the club board like say for example, if I said to Sharks now, I'm going to sack you, but I'm giving you the benefit. You know how it's not the same comparison. You know how Arsene Wenger revealed, man's cutting. Like,
that's different, man.
It's different. No, I'm saying it's different. But for the stature wise, David Moyes has done something that no West Ham fans seen in God knows how long, 100%. Which is a trophy. So they should have at least told him, I know we're gonna sack you, but I'm gonna let you die. I'm gonna let you go out yourself. Just let them know. If you don't, I'm gonna say it.
But it's the job. But it's also the job of the owner. I own this club. I'm gonna make the statement. Fans want to hear from the owner sometimes. You know, it's my statement. I employ this man.
They don't really like David Gold and Karen Braden. They don't really like them.
Exactly. I was about to say there's already.
So it doesn't matter regardless if
he lived long enough to be a villain.
And I'm with you. So I agree with that.
All of that goes out of the window. If you said that to me last year, you have the right, after winning us the European Championship, wow, huge achievement. You can announce it if you want to, because we feel that we want to move past you.
It's true as
Brilliant
well.
situation.
And also,
he stayed long enough.
And also,
it's a bad smell.
Don't introduce me to a life you can't maintain.
Them quotes there, the Instagram ones.
You know, it's true because you gave us a European trophy. You got us top 6. You got us top 6s. Yeah. You got us top 6s, and now we're losing 5s and 6s. Cut, man. That's what they said.
Bars.
What's this man?
Are you trying to be Kendrick?
Look at this guy.
Sharks come back on.
He came with a quote and then a bar. Mental.
But you got to
Can't do that.
I knew it was coming.
He's writing right now, bro. The Steve is writing right now.
We're gonna have our own Drake and Kendrick. Season come on, said this to me. Now
I'm ready for it.
But yeah. So also one last thing about the David Moyes thing. So yeah, they did lose the 5-0 to Chelsea, and he was asked as well why has there been so many big defeats? Like I said, 5-0 Fulham, Arsenal beat them 6-0, 5-0. There's been a couple other big ones. Liverpool beat them 5-1, and he just answered plain and simple. He said Declan Rice.
Disgusting.
That's not a good look.
Man.
Shameless.
I expect Eric Ten Hag to say something like that, but not this guy.
Yeah.
To be fair, Ten Hag still talks about Arsenal games.
Let's not be real. Do you not see that? Did you not see that?
Yeah, that quote's a horror. Fair enough.
But yeah, he said Declan Rice, which is a bit strange. And one final question: has David Moyes been the best manager in the last 20 years?
Yeah. 20 years.
Fuck off.
Yeah, facts.
Bro, remember this guy's kept him.
I guess.
This guy's not even just kept him safe. He's talking
just
about
just about some seasons, about safe.
But remember he had 2 stints. The first one, the second one, bro, he's took long runs in the Europa Leagues, the Europa Conference League. He's won and won. He's won back to back Europa League
final.
Back to back, bro.
He lost to
Glasner.
Glasner.
They lost to Glasner with Frankfurt, and then they lost to the one now against Xabi Alonso. He's done it. He's done it. He's finished within top 8.
6th place.
He's been in the top 6, top 8. For the last 3-4 years, bro.
He's been
great, bro. There's no now. You know how you said about Lopetegui. Imagine now, hypothetically, Lopetegui is the kind of manager that they might want to see. He brings them back down to reality. 14, 15.
Yo, shout David Moyes again.
No, but I'm even trying to think who is the manager you would compare him to?
David Moyes.
David Moyes in terms of who's the next best West Ham.
I like Lopetegui. I thought he was really good at Wolves. Remember, the only reason he left Wolves was because Wolves said we ain't got no money for you. So he said, "No, I'm not taking that."
I don't know, man. Lopetegui, you're on fraud watch, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. But let's move on. We've been on the segment for a bit. Let's move on. Next one I have is Klopp leaving Liverpool in a bad state, or is he giving Onslaught a good project to work on?
I'm 50-50, you know.
Okay, I want to hear from you guys.
As in, I think he's done very well, but I think the crop of players that he's got
left behind,
they're not. Some of them are on the way out.
Yeah.
But some of them are like, I don't look at them and go, you know what? They're on that verge where they're breaking that top 2, top 3 mark. Like Harvey Elliott, I think he's amazing. Like he's quality.
I like
I think he's left him enough though. I think he's left him enough to still be a top 4 club in my opinion.
Top 4, yeah. It depends what aspiration.
Ideally, you want Arne Slot to come in and turn them back into that with his imprint. Do you know what I mean? So you wouldn't want those kind of big building blocks that Arne Slot couldn't move, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I think he's left him an old cast of experienced winners, if you like. But then I feel like there are gems in terms of Harvey Elliott. I think Konate is another one you can build.
Sure.
Trent is pretty much in his prime still.
For sure.
McAllister, I mean, come on.
Baller.
That's a brilliant sign. I think Soboslai will eventually come good. I know
it's not looking good. You like him a lot, that's why you chill out.
I think he will
he's
come
the
good.
Liverpool, bro.
He's a good player.
He's the Kulusevski of Liverpool, bro.
I think I agree.
You know
I think he'll come good eventually.
You know
But
where
I
I'm
still
coming
think, but even him, he's what, 23?
Yeah,
He's still young. So I think there are enough players there where I'm thinking, even Diaz, I know he's 27.
he's
the cut.
That's a building block as well. I think the one where he's kind of shafted him a little bit is Darwin Núñez.
Yeah.
I think that's the one where it's kind of like, what does he
You
do
never
here?
know.
Do
New
you
man
move him on?
get something out of him.
Could do.
Wait.
And then it's like, hey, look at the gift you've left me. But
Listen, I mean,
I don't think he's left him in a disaster state.
No,
where
that's
it's
why I
like-
said 50-50.
That's
That's
why
why I
I-
said 50-50. I said
the question I have is, will Liverpool, and if so, how many of their core players, I'm talking about the likes of Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk and Salah, will go?
I think
Soon
one.
now? Soon
One.
as the season ends and then they're
Yeah.
looking for different clubs.
Yeah. Maybe
One. Salah's the only one.
Salah's the only one I can look at.
Yeah. I think just to touch on the previous question as well, I think if we look at Liverpool in the last couple of years, they had that title winning team that was involved in all the title races, and then this was supposed to be kind of version 2 of Jurgen Klopp, and then he's obviously announced that he's leaving. This obviously they weren't expected to be in a title race at the beginning of the season, which is why Klopp deserves the credit for doing that, and obviously the whole idea of the farewell tour, all that kind of stuff happened, right? Someone like signing Endo, someone signed like Endo is stopgap. I need it now. Let me try and win the title.
Yeah.
You left that for Arne Slot now. Is that someone you look at long term? Just as an example for that one signing. They were going for the title and the expectations quickly shifted during the season. This 2.0 is not complete. It's like
reminds me of
beginning.
something, though.
What's that?
Mr. Alex Ferguson in his last season.
Yeah, but he's just a different caliber of
He
manager.
just went, I want to sign my person, I want to leave, I want to cut, and I want to leave United, one of the worst teams in a long time.
In that sense, but to be fair, I think Liverpool are better. But than the way that United,
100%,
yeah,
100%.
They have more world-class players that they can rely upon. But still, Slot is in a situation where it's half-baked 2.0. You're really loving that comparison, huh?
No, it's
You know this guy? Do you not hear it? You might know. You hear it because of headphones. All I hear is,
Yeah, I hear it.
makes it. Am I being serenaded here?
Crazy.
I'm being seduced here?
Trust me, I hear it.
No, but-
we almost forget about that one, eh?
No, he left us in a bad
Makeda and
situation.
them, man, yeah?
He did a madness. He did a
Phil
madness.
Jones,
Cleverly
Chris
added
Paul,
Anderson,
Some
oh,
overweight Anderson
But
and them,
listen,
man, yeah?
Liverpool got the win, and Liverpool got the win pretty comfortably, and it was against your team, Spurs. And we'll speak about Spurs.
I think it was comfortable for 65
Yeah,
minutes.
exactly. It was 4-0. And I have a question for Spurs in a second, but staying on Liverpool. Next season for Arne Slot, we predict. I believe Liverpool fans will give him a season to chill and get. Obviously,
They have to.
as long as
They
they're in the
have
top
to.
4, I'm not like they're not going to expect him to compete first season because,
Absolutely
like I said, you need a season, make this squad his, build this team to compete for the season after, and
Yeah.
they're not demanding to win the league every year. Like they had a season off last season where they didn't even finish in top 4. You know, they had another one a couple of years before that. So I think next season, even though there is coming after a legendary manager has always proven difficult,
Yeah.
and no one's passed straight away. Alex Ferguson, David Moyes didn't work.
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger, Unai Emery didn't work.
Yeah.
Now we'll want to see what Klopp and Slot becomes. Completely unrelated, but whoever comes after Pep, by the way, is forget
They've got
about
to
it.
check.
Forget about it.
They've got to check. So
Forget
they're all
about
right. They're all right.
Yeah, the
They're all right.
standards.
They're
But
all
yeah,
right. They're all right.
he's been put some crazy
but
standards.
Slot's come off. But I think what's good with the club, like Liverpool club, is that they have a different aura about that club. You know, I think they'll
Family club.
welcome him in unless there's a disaster that happens. I think they'll welcome him in and give him that season.
I agree.
Do we think we don't know too much about him? I assume, but do we think he's got a tough job in his hands? I'm not saying do you think he's got a tough job. Or do you think, based on the question of how Klopp's left him, do you think he's got a pretty decent job on his hands?
The biggest co-sign for Arne Slot for me is Michael Edwards.
Yes, that was a great.
Him being the man that picked him is the one thing that says to me, this guy knew what it was to bring success to Liverpool in the past. I believe he could probably bring success to them in the future. Like Sharky pointed out, it's not going to happen straight away.
No.
Like we say, he's left with a squad that's in the middle of rebuilding right now. So it's not all going to just click all of a sudden and happen next
Even
season.
this current Liverpool team, for them to be in the title race for so long, it's been a shock to all of us.
It's a mad thing. They'll call them
Klopp's done a
unsustainable.
great
Yeah,
job.
100%. But the biggest green flag for Slot is the fact that not only does he have his cosign, he'll get the backing from him, the signings, and we know the kind of gems that Michael Edwards can find him if necessary to build the squad out. I think Liverpool will be all right. And I think Arne Slot will have maybe a tough first season adapting because he's a bold manager from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
We've seen how that's worked out so
critics
far.
are going to be
They're
out.
going to be all over him. But I think he has, like you say, the world-class players, the players in their prime, and
think,
some
yeah.
potential.
If he brings in a couple of his boys, it'll be not bad.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect challenge, in my opinion. I don't think it's one that's too daunting where you're thinking this is an impossible because you have that kind of core of experienced players who you know they can take you somewhere. But then it's also, I feel like Klopp has left him just enough room to, you can still put your imprint on this. So for me, I'm curious to see first window, who are those guys who he looks at and goes, that's my type of player, that's my type of player.
Do you think he could potentially bring any of his final players with him?
I think so. I think there will be one or two.
I
I'm looking at guys like Gertruda,
and Philip Timber. I look at those.
even the left back Hartman. I think
They need to address that position.
Couple almost like undercover signings, if you like. Not too much expected, but they'll be solid Liverpool players. And I think the good thing with Liverpool, we've seen it. I think I've used the example of the patience with Darwin Núñez compared to the patience of Nico Jackson with Chelsea fans. Liverpool fans will always give you, I feel like, time to prove yourself, if you like.
They turn on Núñez.
They started to.
They have now.
Well, now, I mean, 2 years later, title gone out of the window. I'd expect something, but they've at least given him that bit of grace period. So I think for the first year at least, as long as he's not completely out of the top 4 picture, he should be all right.
He needs to learn from Moyes. Don't upset the establishment too much.
We'll start removing ketchup and
You know what I'm
doing
saying?
that. Hey, everybody wax your legs because you'll be more aerodynamic. Allow it.
I know he's gonna bring his ideas. Don't upset the establishment.
Exactly, or don't put your academy players in first class and
Don't upset the establishment. Lean on these world class players.
Exactly. And speaking on Núñez, you mentioned Núñez. You guys noticed that he removed any Liverpool related picture of his Instagram.
Muy interesante.
boo.
It's just
Mucho interesante, yeah.
It's only Uruguay pictures and just noise. Why would he do that?
Because he's being a big baby. Yeah.
He's a
Being
baby.
a big man
He's a
child.
baby.
Yeah? Look at the size of you.
He's
6'5"
a baby.
with a ponytail, big tattoo on your chest, and this is what you're doing. Bad B behavior.
Grow up, man.
Come on, brother.
That's what Liba would say.
Have you ever temporarily archived pictures of your Instagram?
Nah,
because
BBM days, I used to do the black picture, you
Yeah.
know, with
Not in the mood.
with the dot on my status.
not
you know?
in the mood, yeah.
Not responding.
Don't talk to me.
And he was 25 years old.
Yeah, let's expose your file.
Let's do that, yeah?
Yeah. Funny man.
I'm calling HR.
Yeah, funny man. Shut up, lad. Don't touch me, lad.
Yeah, man, 25 is crazy.
All right, no more attacking. But let's move on. Liverpool did beat Spurs. Looked pretty comfortable, like Star said, for most of the game. It finished 4-2. The next question we have, and the next thing we'll discuss, is Ange too stubborn with his philosophy? You know, the Chelsea game was a big talking point earlier in the season where you guys went down to 9 men and he had injuries and he still played a high line. And obviously, you guys ended up getting smoked.
Very estúpido.
That became a thing. It was a big talking point. Wow, okay, mate, is just mate enough? Or is it
Mate.
just like, mate, is that enough? You know?
Fuad, mate.
Or does he have to be a bit more tactically flexible?
100%. I mean, I said it even when we came in here after that, the battering at Chelsea. Said, brother, what are you doing? This is literal tactical suicide.
Yes.
And any top level manager, you have to be adaptable to your situations. It doesn't matter. We saw it a few years ago with Liverpool when they had that injury crisis and Klopp was still sticking to his high line. Ended up costing him. Do you remember that home run that they went on?
Yeah.
He said, no, I got to tweak this. The fact that you are seeing the same mistakes from the high line being beaten over the top into the channels and set pieces where you're seeing Vicario get picked off like it's nothing.
Front post merchant, man.
Same mistakes over and over again. Bro, you have to look at the manager. And I'm sorry, you can even see that he said it because now he's kind of given up on some of the players where he's saying, no, we need wholesale changes. Where at the start of the season it was, we don't change, mate. We are what we are. And it's like,
As long as I'm here, man.
now you've realized some of these players are not up to the standard of what you're trying to kind of implement. And if you have a live by the gun, die by the gun type of method, you better have Pep style players. Because that's what Pep does. Pep, the first season he came to City, the guys weren't up to the standard.
Headshot.
The next year it was, all right, I'm bringing top level talent to do that. Can Tottenham do the same?
Have they got the resources to do the same?
Have you got the talent ID where if we can't afford that, you can find gems like that? Because if that's not the case, then because if that's not the case, though, you better be tactically adaptable to make use of what you have. And that's my thing: is don't be stupid in thinking I have this holistic way of playing football and it's the only way to play football. No, you will get picked off every time, and we've seen that in the past 4 games, bro. Same issues coming up again. Same issues getting picked off again.
Do you think Ange is more likely to try and change Tottenham more than change his own philosophy?
What do you mean in terms of...
So, what do you think he'll do first? Change his philosophy and become more flexible on his own, or stick with that and try and first change the players, but stick with his own philosophy?
The second one.
So he's less likely to change his philosophy than he is to...
I think even next season we'll still see the high line, we'll still see the defense. Because even in that press conference where he was saying we want to see changes, he was talking about it's the players, it's the signings, what we want to see. So,
but yeah, I mean, listen, it's interesting with the whole Ange thing, because it's like, surely you would realize, okay, cool, this isn't working. Let me change it a little bit. It's just interesting. But I have another question for you, Heung-min Son. What do we do with him?
You might have to go military, man. Start that.
Start that. Yo, this is crazy. No. He got exemption from that. Don't do that.
He won a medal.
Don't do that.
Someone else took the penalty and he was looking away.
My boy got exemption.
Someone else took the penalty and he was looking away. He's like, please score.
My boy's exempt.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's...
You think he's missing that? You think he's missing?
No, you know how people say, India, Saudi Arabia. I'm saying to him,
he's saying his time's up.
Catch it now. Get it done.
Because you see what Stars is doing. Stars is doing the facial thing. Yeah, Ange has done him dirty here. Let's be honest, you see. And this comes back to Ange.
So he watches
Liverpool.
You watch the Liverpool.
No.
How so?
He's moved him back to the left.
Yeah, he has.
You see someone. I was checking to see who's really been watching Spurs. You see,
because he's moved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, only I do.
They're fun to watch.
But he's basically moved him back to the left, bro. And it's back to what me and Faisal were talking about maybe last year, where it's like, okay, you might be getting something out of Richarlison, but he's even dropped him type of thing. So
doesn't make sense.
I just think he's just sold him short. If you can play him in the 9, I still think you can get a little bit of something out of him. Son is a final action player now. Absolutely. Get him in the box, finishing. He can get you maybe 13, 16 goals per season. It's that left wing position we need to address. Yeah. This season, our wingers they've been nasty. Their work has been papered over by Destiny and Porro actually being decent and assisting instead.
Yeah.
Kulusevski, the ginger ghost of Sweden, as I'm calling him now, brother. He has sold us a dream for 2 years.
Boy, man.
Wow. He was formerly. We ain't boys no more. Delete my number, brother.
He's an Arsenal fan, anyways.
Bro, I'm following him.
Yeah.
He's a gooner, though. He's a gooner.
I know.
He said,
we should have known. We should have known because he plays like it.
But we're going to need to play like it on Tuesday, please, Kulusevski. Score a hat-trick.
Imagine it turns up. Listen,
Arsenal
against City as well. You know what? He probably would.
Wow.
Listen, he ain't the only man in that dressing room. I'll tell you that. But But even so, on the other side, you've got Werner, who since he's coming in January,
sign him up, man. 70 million. Take that.
So it's like, listen, a lot has been placed on Son in terms of carrying that attack, and I think he's been done dirty basically by his wingers, and then Ange recently by sticking him back out on the left.
So you wasn't upset with? Obviously, you do have. I
don't think he's been great. Yeah,
you do have a lot of injuries, but playing Real like left back,
I will always have a problem seeing number 12 in my team.
You know, I saw a stat. He's picked up his 100th cap for Spurs.
Yeah. For me, it's
how did he get there?
That's crazy. That's crazy. But for me, you got to give Ange time. I know it's suicidal. I know the system.
We chose to pay double for that brother over Tomiyasu. You see how you lot love Tomiyasu?
Yeah, that's mad.
Can plug in any position.
Unbelievable.
We saw that. Yeah. We saw the comps, and I was like, bro, I don't even get sold off man on comps, but it's Tomiyasu, bro. Yeah. He looks like he can do everything. Right.
And you signed
everything he's been doing at Arsenal.
You signed him
every week. I'm like,
should have been us.
You know what reminds you?
We chose number 12.
Do you know what reminds you?
We chose this Bolivian.
You signed Emerson Real,
bro.
Emerson Real.
We've got our own left back just like that. SSFC
just gives away goals, clueless, stiff hips.
hairline invisible.
No, that's good.
My boy, you know I love you. Come on now.
I know, man. I know he's thinking so.
Last question of this game. We haven't thought lineup. Like, should someone like Richarlison have started?
He should have. As soon as he came on the pitch, bro, it was a massive impact.
Yeah.
Like the gap within Trent and whoever was playing, I think it's Kwanzaa.
Yeah, it was.
Every time Poro's automatic as well. He's on that. Not Trent, never Trent, but he's got that automatic. He's got that automatic.
Yeah,
bro. Every single time he's looked at him, he's in space, and he was a nuisance. Honestly, when Richarlison came on, he was a nuisance. R9 was a nuisance.
Is that an admission or something? You got something to say?
No.
The camera wasn't on
Oh,
him.
no.
The camera wasn't on him. Come on in.
He knows our referencing.
The 2 hands up. When because it came back just again.
Are we going to address this?
We already addressed it before.
we already addressed
it. You guys addressed it
The
already,
Spurs back 4 than Arsenal.
You just mentioned Poro obviously being after Trent. I was like,
the be-
oh, interesting.
Do you remember with the clip?
That's why he was
And then he had both his hands up.
No. He's got to turn that side as well. He's got to turn that side as well.
And then I had Ilias.
The camera wasn't on him, I swear to you. Arsenal fans, one of your own said it.
Yeah.
Bro,
We got a co-sign of Ilias, bro.
I always get onto Ilias for that. I always look at him and go, how the
did you
hell
let
that? What? Why?
Sure. It was a conviction our arms went up with.
Yeah, man.
It
We
just
did that
sold him.
quickly. Yeah, we sold it. Ola. Sold it.
But now, honestly, Richarlison, it was a big change.
I agree. Yeah.
Changed up. Even, it's crazy. I know Liverpool winning 4-0, but even Skip coming in to play left back.
The left back, bro. When that change happened, I looked.
He
at it,
was
I said,
inverted as well. I liked it.
what the f*** are you doing?
No, it's
I
mad.
said, Ange's lost his mind. We're seeing the losing of the mind.
Yeah, happened.
He was
right
actually.
Okay.
He knew what he was doing. He was
Trust
looking
Ange.
still.
He looked so in the pocket. I said, no. I was an Arsenal fan. I'm like, these guys are moving me in the last 15 minutes. I said, what's going on?
He
Man.
cooked to that. But Richarlison, I agree. The past 2 games he has been, but then the issue becomes if you start him, it has to be on the left, in my opinion, because you can't remove Son from that middle.
Son has to have the fewest touches.
Yeah.
He has to have the fewest touches. It's got to be just final action, bang, bang, finish. Because I've seen him do these little dribbles outside the box.
It's going to be
Please,
interesting
man.
next season with
You know the
Spurs.
pinball ricocheting.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Office.
It's going to be interesting next season with Spurs because obviously probably missing out on Champions League football now. It's done.
That changes Ange's
It does.
transfer policy as well.
Yep.
It changes his policy, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I mean, listen, what Ange does next season, it's going to be interesting because if he has a bad season next season,
He's the first Spurs manager to complete a season since Poch.
Wow.
Good start.
Congrats, Ange. Congrats, Ange. All right, let's move on to the last couple of discussions. One, we're going down to the bottom of the Premier League. Did Forest just save their Premier League status with that away win against Sheffield United?
Well, I watched the full night of that game.
Interesting.
I watched the full. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was a 3 p.m. kickoff. There was Brentford, Fulham. There was something else, and I said, you know what, this 6-pointer, I know it means something.
I'm tucking in.
6 pointer. Sheffield are down.
No. Oh yeah. You're right. It is a 6 point. But I'll be real. Not Forest. They are bad. Even though they won 3-1, Sheffield United in the first 14
Move into
minutes.
them. Move into them.
Wallahi, what's his name? Cameron Archer
Cameron
and
Archer.
Barrington
That was a
Diaz
chaotic win.
had 4 one-on-one chances back to back in the 10 minutes, bro.
Archer tried
And
chip
I
it.
looked and I went, okay, cool. What's going on? But credit to Callum Hudson-Odoi, man.
Wow.
Every time they kept touching it, going out wide, he was cooking. He was cooking Bogle. He was cooking Bogle. Ahmed Dozic, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Every time cutting that, and I looked and I went, okay, cool. It might be them. Like, I'm happy they've done it, but they're not that great, bro.
Credit to Hudson-Odoi as well, man. This year, I feel like he's just gone Forest, got his head down, working, similar like Alanga, but I just feel like he's been maybe a little bit more consistent and popped
Better
up
at football
goals
as well, yeah.
throughout the season. Oh yeah, you could say that. I mean, you know,
There's a stat as well. It's his
X's
first,
and that.
I think it's
But
the
no,
first.
I think he's been really good, and I hope he just kind of builds on it.
I think it's his first time either since Chelsea or in his career that he's started 7 games in a row in the Premier League.
And it looks like he's scoring the same type of goal every time.
Yeah.
Gets ball up on the left, a little
And
what tricky move there, bang. And
The first goal was quite improvised though. Because it bounced up and he just hit it.
I mean,
the finish was really nice.
We know the history of Hudson-Odoi. Everyone that's been around him
Had an England cap before he had a Chelsea cap.
Yeah, he's
Or
made his
Chelsea
England
careers.
debut before he started for Chelsea. Like,
wanted
he
him
was
in
linked to
the
Bayern Munich. But even what you hear about him of how unbelievable of a player he was, better than Jadon Sancho, better than all these players. So yeah, it just didn't work out for him at the top level. And maybe, like you said, he needed this where he has to just,
reset.
Find
Find yourself.
Still young.
But what a result for Forest actually, because now it is looking like out of Forest and Luton, who's going down that third spot.
Law Nation.
Yeah. I mean, Sheffield's down. They're relegated already.
No, that time ago.
And
conceded 100 plus goals.
Burnley are down as well. They need a miracle. Burnley are down. So it's out of Luton and Forest. And but now Forest are 3 points ahead of Luton. They both have 2 games left. And it's gonna be really interesting.
I wonder who Luton's got. I want to know.
I can tell you who Luton have actually. Luton have the last 2 games are West Ham away and Fulham at home.
Yeah, that's 4 points.
They need to win both of them.
Get them out of here.
I'm sorry, Bola. Sorry,
because Forest have 3 points ahead of them already.
Get them
and
out
Forest have Chelsea at home and Burnley away.
I cannot wait to see the last of these 3 promoted teams.
I was going to say that as well. Is this the worst season ever for newly promoted teams?
Yes.
Horrible.
And get them out.
Historically bad.
I need all 3 of those clubs with a 3-year ban after they go down.
Wow. Even if you come back, you're not allowed to.
Burnley, just don't come back. Unless you rehire
Burnley
Sean
have been a
Dyche.
pretty much established Premier League team for a while.
Until you come back to your heritage,
Sean Dyche
don't return. Yeah.
Facts.
When Sean Dyche leaves, go get him then.
They
come back.
smoked the champs last season.
Luton, go find the new stadium. Till you find the new stadium, come back. I don't want to see
What kind of Road
I don't want to see you or that
to
dog.
to, man.
Like, it was cute for the first couple of weeks. Sheffield United, just burn the whole city down.
Burn the whole city down.
Them and Wednesday, get them out. Have you seen the teams in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Real
That's
Premier
what I
League
was gonna say.
heritage.
That's what I was going to say.
What we need back in here.
That's what I was going to say.
None of this.
That's what I was going to say.
Charity cases.
Welcome.
Come on, man.
Welcome back to the Premier League, Leicester and Ipswich.
Ipswich! Kieran McKenna! My boy!
Welcome back.
My boy!
Welcome back. And Man United and Man City.
20 years.
Yeah.
Both got promoted. Man City for Leicester and Man United. Kieran McKenna obviously is at United.
I love it when I crack a good joke that makes Steve go like that.
Naseem's still laughing.
He literally said, "Burn the city to the ground."
Yes, man. The whole city is Sheffield.
This guy's like Cersei Lannister. With the wildfire.
I ain't got no babes in Sheffield, man. Move! You think I'm ever going up there? Step around and like, stay quiet.
Someone's like, why is it Sheffield
Welcome back to the Premier League, Leicester City and Ipswich Town.
Wow.
Leicester obviously straight back up. Ipswich has been a while since they've been back, but congratulations, they've secured their ultimate promotion.
Back-to-back promotions.
Back-to-back promotions for Ipswich as well. Very impressive. Likes of Mari Hutchinson, who's obviously a Chelsea boy.
Leaf Davis.
Chelsea boy, obviously former Arsenal player. Yep, him. There's the Jeremy Sarmiento from
Brighton on loan.
Brighton. There are a lot of good players, of course.
They got Keith Moore.
Ali Hamadi, big up my boy Ali Hamadi. Big up too. He signed from Wimbledon after the Asia Cup.
Who told me this story?
After the Asia Cup, he gets trained by Xander as well. He signed from Wimbledon after the Asia Cup. Upper division, I think upper couple of divisions up to thing, and he's helped them. He's scored quite a few goals already in the last couple of months. Big up to all of you guys. That now leaves Leeds, Southampton, West Brom, and Norwich fighting in the playoffs. Who do you guys think will come up? Southampton, West Brom, and Norwich. By the table, it'll be Leeds versus.
I don't want Norwich. You know how you look at.
how
you look
at.
I agree. It's the way I look at Norwich.
I agree.
Put a 3-year ban on them.
I know how it's gonna go.
I hope Leeds.
It's Leeds versus Norwich, Southampton, West Brom. Final of the playoffs can be Leeds versus Southampton.
I do like the Hawthorns.
I think Southampton come up.
Yes, good.
I do like the Hawthorns though.
I'd be on. I would like Leeds. I think Archie Gray, Somerville, some of them. Maybe Southampton, spend one more year there.
You don't want Ellen Road back in there, mate.
Nah, I need Ellen Road. This is what I feel. I feel like Leeds are just like Premier League heritage. Last run.
Come on, man.
They went to Bielsa rock and roll and then.
To be fair, I'll get 6 months out of them every year.
Remember they had Jesse Marsh.
Rose Derby was easy for you.
Yeah, I say that still.
No, I hope not.
No, not now. They've got Daniel Farke now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
As in, like, they had Jesse Marsh when they got
Daniel Farke?
He scrubbed
As in the previous Norwich. No, don't even bring him back as well. Just because of what he did at Norwich. Don't bring him back as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a good championship manager still.
Leicester coming back up though, man.
Yeah.
My most recent FM save brought them back up.
What's it like?
Won the Champions League. Won the Premier League.
What?
They're on a good day.
Cup.
Well, they're in safe hands then.
All within the 3 years, bro.
Yeah.
So my man, who's in charge now? Enzo Maresca.
Yeah.
Challenge has been set for you, my brother.
That's the bar now. You have to win the Champions League in the next couple of years.
There you go.
But that goes back to your Vincent Kompany, former Man City man, winning the league, going back up.
No, he won't do it though.
But this guy was a coach under Pep. Kompany was a player.
Kane and Dewsbury Hall.
Different. Yeah, Dewsbury Hall season.
Watching.
Your boy Harry Winks has been unbelievable.
Come on, bro.
What a signing.
Speak about it, bro.
And then your boy is all Stefan Mavididi.
Stephen, former Arsenal boy.
Baller.
But he was an academy
Baller.
boy. Winks was a Champions League finalist with Spurs.
Yeah. Remember the game against Madrid?
Who's this?
Yeah, he's done. Harry Winks. He's not trying to give no credit. You don't remember Harry Winks?
Yeah, man.
No?
Yeah.
Not ringing a bell?
But Harmsden, the goalkeeper, hard.
Sampdoria?
Damn, man.
Hamza Chowdhury. Big up my Muslim brothers.
But that's all the topics we had. That's all the topics we had for today.
Always.
Let us know if you enjoyed this new format. We're gonna finish off on the FPL. There's only a couple game weeks left. On the SDS Familia one, which has all the cast members and the crew. It is a crew member who is top of the table still. It makes no sense. Genuinely, in my mind, this makes zero sense.
Cheating.
How this guy is winning.
He's
He just had a game
sorry.
week of 116 points. It's ridiculous what he's doing right now. He's better than Pep, maybe. He might be better than Pep.
No, he's not.
He's got the same trim as him. He's
got no life.
It's Mercel. Top of our league. Top of our league, as you can see right now. Most top. Abs is second, and I'm third. I've fallen off now. I'm not finishing
Can I-
high.
Just a bunch of Maltesers at the top. The little cream egg youths.
I have to apologise. I missed the deadline last week for the first time in. And that's what gave Leicester. If it wasn't for that, I'd still be top of the league. I'm on the way.
I mean, if Fuad's laughing because he's rock bottom, Stars is 12th.
Yeah, because I'm a grown man. I don't play little FPL games.
That's the one.
They got the most hair on their
It works.
Yeah, while we're combing our hair, you man are just what? Picking teams and that. Losers.
Saving
Go
time.
get some bitches, man.
And finally, with two game weeks left, let me announce the SDS League with all of you guys in it. In first place is Bloom. He's stayed first for a long time. He might win it. Second place is Demetrius with After Sun. Third is 43-1 Gegenpress of Emilio. Fourth is Wataru doing Ankit Chada. Fifth is Abs 11. In sixth is Channel 4 Medjbury. In seventh is Acuna Matata Cold World. In eighth is Tej. In ninth is Shiver Me Timbers. That's the Juran and Quinton's third brother. And in 10th is Saka White Rice, Rishi Goswami.
Shimmy Timbers had Sharky in a chokehold for a minute.
Maybe for like 3 weeks I was dying.
It was done. Well, it was done. I remember. I can see it, you know.
Someone said, oh, they signed their third brother, Shiver Me.
And this guy, you know, he had tears in his eyes. I looked at him. Well, it's such a Sharky joke. I hear it.
The dumb ones. But yeah, look, whoever finishes top of that league, remember you have the choice of either a £500 cash prize or you can be on SDS and you can choose your own table of people you want to be on with. But that's us for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what other topics we should cover next time. Follow us on Twitter, tweet us, and if you want to know ahead of time what topics we're going to be covering before the podcast drops, follow us on Twitter. Everything's on the screen right now. Follow us on Instagram as well. We'll see you next time. Bye, Dorian. The camera's on me, Dorian. Bye, guys.